Hey, Real Nerds listeners, your favorite host Ryan here to remind you that social media is great. How great is it? There's many ways you can find the Real Nerds on social media. You can download us on iTunes. You can listen to us streaming on Stitcher Radio. You can call us 720-6nerds5. Aw man, our website is so cool. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You want to leave some fan mail? Oh, that's so easy, realnerds@gmail.com. Twitter, we got it, @real_nerds. You can even like us on Facebook. Thank you so much, and hey, enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2016 and beyond. I am Ryan, and I am with a special guest because I don't care about these two fucking ass clowns.
Asshole.
After years of begging this man to be on my show, I've interviewed celebrities, directors, Michael Uslan, producer of Batman, fuck those guys. I finally was able to get the most elusive person on my show ever. Andrew from Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Hey guys, what's up? Yay! I'm here.
Welcome. What made you finally change your mind? You're like, you know what? I'm finally going to be on this show.
I feel like you guys finally reached my status level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You had to work your way up through the ranks.
You know, that makes sense.
Finally,
because,
I should be here.
You know, does it coincide with us finally hitting 1,000 followers on Twitter that we're finally
usually
there?
I'm only on podcasts where there's 10,000 followers, but you know.
But you
I'll throw you guys a bone. We'll get there.
We'll get there with you. So now, after this episode, we'll get 9,000 more followers, and people will love us. And I'm really excited to have you on the show, Andrew, because usually we do a comic book session where we tell you what comic books to read. But I'm going to change it up this week because I have a comic book person here, not only an artist who's very good, who you can see his work in Uncanny Adventures from Eighth Wonder Press. You can buy it online, or you can go into your store and purchase it. But you're also a purchaser of comic books. And I always thought it was so fascinating. So I'm going to start asking you comic book inside information.
Okay.
Cool. So we already know Batman and Superman and Spider-Man, those all sell. What's the best-selling comic book at your store?
Actually, Star Wars is selling really, really well
Yeah.
right now. That's probably the most consistent best-selling comics that we have.
As all the spin-offs sell really well, too?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was wondering what's the one with the one Jedi from Cartoon Network?
Oh, Canon?
Canon, yeah.
Yeah,
Does that one still sell well?
That one sells really well too.
Does it really?
I've never seen the show, but I think it's just you put Star Wars on anything and it's like printing money right now. So
And so have you read the Star Wars comics?
I have not. I read Lando in preparation because Lando's the greatest character ever in Star Wars. And that comic's amazing.
Is
you
it?
should all go buy it. Just go buy Lando.
My friend Joe, his son is named Landon, and so he always calls him Lando. And when I was at your store, you had the photo variant, and he wanted the comic. I'm like, I have to get him the photo variant of Lando because it's like a character poster, but from the late 70s, early 80s. So it has a really fake background, and he's holding a blaster. I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome.
And, it's Billy D. Williams when he was like the suave motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. He's the best.
So how do you buy comics? Because, obviously you get previews, and there's thousands of comics in it. How do you decide which comics to get? Because you don't get all the comics. And I know I can see why, but how do you know when it's a new comic that it's something you should buy?
It's honestly, it's just a lot of guesswork. I've been there, 6-7 years at this point. So you have to know your customer base. You have to know what people are coming in for. We're not a big indie carrier, if that makes sense, because I don't have a lot of my regular customers buying indie comics. So, I don't get a lot of just small press stuff because that's not our clientele. My guys come in for mostly Marvel, mostly DC sort of stuff. And then you kind of have to look at the characters, and characters sell more than creators, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
that's a change though, right? Because it used to be, you put, I don't know, Jim Lee on the comic and people will buy it.
Right. And there's still certain exceptions to that. You know what I mean? But
Todd McFarlane?
Yeah,
really?
Todd McFarlane hasn't done anything
I was making
in forever,
a joke.
but he does the covers on some of the Spawns, and those all sold really well.
Yeah.
Even though he had nothing else to do with it. But yeah, it just depends. I have to look at it and be like, okay, this is going to be a big seller, or I'm going to take a chance on this, because if it's something I'm excited about, then I might order heavier on it, especially if I know it's going to be good. Because then I can, then you guys can come in and be like, hey, what's good this week? And I might be able to sell you something that you wouldn't necessarily buy.
After 7 years of doing that, do you feel like defeatist about the whole thing, where it's like, I buy stuff that I think is going to be good, and then no one comes and buys it?
I mean, that happens, but it's definitely a crapshoot. It's like anything, with like going back to Star Wars comics, like with the animated series one that they're doing, I had no idea about that character, so I ordered really light on it because I was like, oh, usually cartoon comic crossovers don't sell that well. So I ordered, maybe 20 copies of it and sold out first day.
Wow.
Because I underestimated the demand for it, if that makes sense. So it's still, even doing it that long, it's still possible to screw it up.
And is there certain comics that you won't touch? Because I don't see like Zombie Tramp. Do you have Zombie Tramp?
Oh, we have it.
Do you really?
Yeah, we just don't have it on the shelf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it because it's so risque that people have to ask for it?
Yes,
like
exactly.
Like Jungle Girl or Tarot. Every time I see those
yeah.
comics, they just don't look good to me.
Basically everything printed by Aspen.
Like Tarot is a really, really big seller for us.
Really?
Yeah, but I can't put them on the shelf.
Yeah, because they're horrible.
Yeah.
Although,
like,
like, I'm not saying like quality wise, but like the covers are so sexualized because I read previews every month,
right,
and I look at it, and Jim Ballant, who used to do Catwoman, if I remember right, like he draws a very shapely woman, but he exaggerates Tarot's breasts like nothing I've ever seen since the heyday of Lady Death. I don't know.
But on the flip side of that, like I won't put those on the shelf, but I'll still put Crossed on the shelf, and Crossed covers are terrible.
They are.
Only terrible people read Crossed, but it's what it is.
But it's written by great writers.
Yeah, they do. They keep switching up the writers, but it still hits all the same points. You know what I mean?
Because Warren Ellis, that's a Warren Ellis book, right?
Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis.
Yeah. And then now I think Kieran Gillian is doing it. He either did it or he did a run on it. But it's like decent names. You know?
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah.
I've never read it. I have no idea what it's about. Just every cover is like some dude who looks demented and blood pouring out of his face with a cross on it.
No, yeah, and that's exactly what it is. And then, they have one. It's kind of like Saga where they do one shock panel for a comic. Except in Crossed, it's like a girl tears off a guy's dick and then beats him to death with it. Like that's Crossed in a nutshell. So,
but too, sometimes those books fall on a radar, like The Extinction Parade by Max Brooks, and I don't know who the artist is, like Rollo something. I don't even know his name, but he's really good.
Oh yeah.
And so even books like that where Max Brooks is kind of a big literary name.
Yeah.
Do you sell those books? How many of those books do you buy? I know I get it, but is that more of you get it for people in hold slots and stuff like that?
Yeah, on stuff like that. Like Avatar Press is weird because they do, 4 to 6 different covers. And we have a lot of guys that want all of those covers.
Really?
Yeah. So you have to keep that in mind also. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of skewed as far as the sales go. Like, it makes the sales look better than the book is actually selling, if that makes sense. Because, like, if I have a guy who's buying 6 copies of it, then it seems like I have 6 more people reading it than actually are.
And there's a lot of exposure there because, like, if that guy doesn't buy that one, you're not out one issue, you're out 6 issues.
Right, exactly. Which happens also, especially on, like, the Grimm fairy tale stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I always think that Grimm fairy tales is nothing but covers.
Oh, yeah, you're 100% correct.
Am I? Because I have no idea what they're about. But when I'm at Comic-Con, I kind of judge people for when they carry around those prints.
Oh,
Is that a bad thing to do?
No, that's exactly what you should be doing in that situation.
They want to be judged. They're begging to be judged. They wouldn't buy it if they didn't want you to judge them.
Because I'm walking around with like my Amanda Connor print. I'm like, look, it's cute. And then you see, I don't know, Red Riding Hood with her like tits hanging out. And I just never got those comics. I mean, I've read comics my whole life.
Right.
And I mean, I know I'm an elitist because I love Spider-Man. Take that, edit that out, motherfucker. But I love Spider-Man. But it's hard for me to get into the indie stuff, but I mean, you recommend stuff like Deadly Class. That's really fun.
That's really good.
And you got me on Gotham Academy, which I really
like.
That
book is amazing. Yeah.
But is that also too? Do you get tired of people asking you what to read, or do you know your customers so well that you can recommend stuff because of who they are.
I do. Like, there's certain customers that come in that we have, like, you know, I don't even know what the word is, but, like, I know them really well. So I know kind of their tastes and stuff like that. And the good thing about having return customers is they can come back to you and be like, oh, I read Deadly Class. I didn't really like it. And then I'll kind of ask them what they did and didn't like about it. And based on that, I can kind of figure out what to go towards or what they should stay away from.
Because I noticed with me, you kind of push more of writers to me.
Yeah.
To get more of an exposure to different types of comics.
Right.
But yeah, and also, so how much better is Secret War selling than Convergence?
Oh, so much better. So much better. Like, none of the issues of Convergence sold out. And I was only getting maybe 12 copies of each of them. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I felt really bad interviewing Jeff King because I didn't know. I never read Convergence, but my conversations with you, I bullshitted my way through that interview, and he was so excited that I knew characters from Convergence. I'm like, whatever. I looked at the cover.
And then, yeah, I mean, you can pretty much get those stories from the covers on those.
But you could tell he tried really hard to write it, and I'm sure it was a big undertaking, but it never caught on.
No, yeah. I feel like DC, their big events aren't as important as Marvel's big events. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the thing is now it's like already bled into the Dark Side Wars. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, right.
And then I hate because like I love Batgirl, and I know Batgirl isn't like a huge selling title, and then they always have like little tie-ins with it,
right?
Because they want me to obviously pick up Dark Side Wars. I'm like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, there's so much crossover and that sort of stuff because you take a book like Batgirl, and it's not selling Justice League numbers, you know, but if they put Dark Side War on the cover, those Justice League people might buy that issue.
But the crazy thing is they interrupt like the flow of the story, because when Gail Simone was writing it, she was writing this story called Wanted, and it was awesome because Batgirl killed her brother, and now Jim Gordon was hunting Batgirl, not knowing that he was Barbara. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and then in the middle it goes to year 0, and then you have to wait 2 months for the conclusion of the fucking story.
And it's a lot worse than the New 52. They've been trying to tie so much stuff together and just promote so much of their stuff, but they kind of lost a lot of readers. Does that make sense? Like, you had a bunch of people that were heavily tied into continuity and really liked what DC was trying to do, and then DC almost gave people the perfect reason to stop reading DC comics.
That's what I worried about with Marvel with Secret Wars, is because actually Secret Wars is really good.
Yeah, it's been really, really good.
But, you know, I mentioned this to you before, so they're starting over at Silk #1. They're starting over at Spider-Gwen #1. Yeah. And these books are like 6 issues in. Right. And so I think it's so weird. And it's actually something I think DC started, where they just constantly reboot their series constantly. Right. And how long, that's something kind of new in the comic world.
For DC, yes. Like, New 52 was, I think, the first time, or at least the first big time, that DC renumbered stuff. You know what I mean? Because Detective was way up there. Like, Batman was way up there. Marvel's been doing it since the 90s, though. Like, if you think about Heroes Reborn...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That was a complete reboot of the universe, you know? And it only went on for a year and basically failed.
Yeah.
But ever since then, Marvel goes back to #1s a lot more often than I had realized, you know?
I guess, yeah, when I think about it. I just think it's so weird, because it seems like now comics are written to be 12-issue arcs. Right. And then they're just going to start over again. Yeah. So it's just bizarre to me.
Yeah, it makes it complicated, because, you know, if you've got a guy who really likes these 12 issues of Daredevil, and then you start over with new writers, new creative teams, they have to pay a lot more attention to, oh, maybe it's not the character I like. Maybe it's the situations that the character is in that I like.
Yeah.
So it does get complicated. Like, you know, and I can't read all the #1s. I try, but I can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, if somebody's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this creative team on, like, Silk or whatever, sometimes I won't read that until it's 5 issues in.
Sure.
And then those guys are like, oh, I can't believe you let me read these crappy comics. And so there has to be some sort of accountability on their part, too.
Yeah. But so now that you have all these new issues out, which ones do you choose to read? Because you see comics all the time.
Right.
So how do you know which ones to read?
So the good thing about my job is that I don't have to buy any of it.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Like, I can just bring them home, read them, and bring them back. But that also gets difficult, because since I can read everything, I try to read everything.
Sure.
So, you know, I've got a stack of 100 comics that go back 6 months, and sometimes I just can't get caught up on everything. Pretty much all I'm reading right now is the Secret Wars stuff. and there's a lot of bad stuff in that.
Is there?
Yeah.
What's not good?
Armor Wars, I think, is terrible.
That's a 90s China
Yeah.
reboot thing.
Yeah.
The one that scared me was Age of Apocalypse.
It's on my stack. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I was going to read it last night, but I didn't get a chance to. 1872 was actually really good. It's like a kind of a Western take on the Marvel
nice.
universe. Yeah. And Iron Man is the town drunk, obviously.
Cool.
So
Cool. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
That's the inside of the comic world, guys. Then how Andrew orders.
I hope I was helpful.
Yeah. Does Spider-Man sell more than Batman?
Oh, yeah.
He's pandering to you, Ryan.
I'm super excited though for the Deadpool Spider-Man team up because it's written by Joe Kelly.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
going to be
made
fun.
me cry.
I was about to like jump across the table and be like, "Why are you excited about anything with Deadpool in it?"
No,
now I understand. Yeah,
there's
that makes a lot of sense.
you actually have it hanging up on your like expensive comics. There's this one shot that Joe Kelly wrote with Spider-Man and Deadpool, drawn by Scotty Young.
Yeah.
That is an
snap.
amazing book, and it happened in the middle of like a Spider-Man run.
Yeah, it was in actual Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, so it was. So it wasn't. It didn't garner a lot of interest. So I'm guessing that the orders went down for it.
Right.
And now it's super hard to find.
Well, yeah.
And it's amazing because Spider-Man is always, he's always saying something funny, and Deadpool is like talking breaking the fourth wall. And halfway through, Spider-Man's like, "Who are you talking to?" It's beautiful.
Is the entire issue done by Scotty Young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No issue that Scotty Young is on should ever be like under ordered or under purchased.
Well, that came out before he hit big.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
oh.
So
It was like pre-Oz?
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like issue 670 or
think so.
it's a really weird era because that was when Spider-Man was Brand New Day and they're rotating writers.
Right.
And then Joe Kelly just came on and did a one shot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he was there and he wrote it and they put it in between, I forget what. It was I think it was just before Dan Slott did his huge run.
I think so.
And
yeah.
but yeah, that one's super underordered and yeah, and it's great. So I think Joe Kelly's a really good Deadpool writer. I'm not a big Deadpool fan, but
Right. No, he's
but
definitely
he's one of the best.
one of the best
Yeah.
Deadpool writers.
yeah, and he writes Spider-Man really well, and so I can't wait. And Ed McGuinness is drawing it. It should be really fun. So
That's
I'm
cool.
excited. Yeah. Anyways, we'll start the show now.
What are we doing here?
Every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week, Andrew's also here because we saw a Marvel movie. We saw Ant-Man. So stay tuned to till the end of this show and we'll spoil Ant-Man for you.
We'll review it some too.
Whatever.
We won't just
Maybe.
spoil
Just
it.
spoilers. We're not
Yeah.
going to tell
Maybe.
you how we felt about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we also have fan mail. We talk about what we've been watching. We just did a huge comic books section. So unless you have a comic book to recommend this week, we can
No, just Lando. Go by Lando.
go by Lando. Sweet, a great artist by the way, who's doing Lando right
Yeah,
now.
I think it's Maliv.
It is
Yeah.
Maliv. Yeah, he's
Where-
a great artist.
Where should people buy that issue?
Yeah, where can we go to get these, Andrew?
Well, you can come to my shop. It's Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Yes,
Just be there.
Awesome.
and you know what's
I'll
great?
save you one.
You know what I always love, and this is why Andrew's so much better. I'm going to trash Mile High Comics right now. This is why Andrew's better. Not only is it owned by a local guy named Bruce, who's a really funny guy. He always gives me a hard time when I'm in there, and I don't know why.
It's not just you, it's everybody.
Yeah,
he just
it's
hates,
really-
he hates comics and people.
It's it's funny because I had this stack of comics the last time I was there, and I was walking up. I was like, "Hey, Bruce, how's it going?" He's like, "I'm not checking you out," and he just like walked away. And then he came back. I was like, "I'm just kidding." It's like, "All right, cool." But so Andrew is one of the most fair comic dealers in town, I believe. You go to a store, you get back issues unless they're green tagged, they're half off. And I mean, you recently bought, I don't know how many Marvel team ups with Spider-Man. I don't know, it was like 10 of them.
Yeah, it was
And I think they're like $4 each, but I got them half off, so I paid $20 for 10 Marvel team ups. And that's why he's fair. He'll also sell you great comics for great prices. He doesn't do what I call the mile high markup, where, the first appearance of Punisher is $5,000.
Right.
Actually, I saw the most expensive comic ever at Andrew's store. And tell him what comic is the most expensive one in your store right now. You just got it.
It's called, is it Young Men? Young Men Adventures. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's number 24. It's the first origin of Golden Age Captain America.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
And Red Skull wears an awesome cape in it.
He does. Red Skull's wearing a cape. That's like how great it is.
And a jumpsuit.
And I think it's from 1952.
Oh, 53.
53.
I think, yeah.
We were looking through it, and this is like a hard to find comic. And $1,000 is a lot, but for the first origin of Captain America, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I've always said this. I mean, he has the fair prices. You can get great Spider-Man comics like I do, fill in my holes for like $40 for comics that are like $100.
I know.
He said fill in.
Ryan likes to fill his holes. As
So
much
if
as
you're
he
looking
can.
for hard to find comics, Andrew has them, and they're reasonably priced. You don't have to spend $1,400 for the Death of Green Goblin.
No, we'll cut you a deal.
He'll cut you a deal.
Yeah.
$1,300.
Yeah.
No, actually, my one of my favorite things I ever saw there is you had Amazing Spider-Man 300, which is the first appearance of Venom, and I don't like Venom at all. But I kept on saying, man, I should get that comic because, it's a landmark issue. And Andrew said, you better get it. It's not going to be here long. Because Andrew, he wanted like $110 for it.
Yeah, it was reasonably
Reasonable.
cheap. Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, whatever. So I left and I came back next week. I was like, fine, I'll get Amazing Spider-Man 300. He's like, dude, I fucking sold that, bro. I told you to buy it when you're here.
I warned you.
He did. He's like, dude, this is not going to stay. But you do have the first appearance of Carnage.
That is true.
I already have 2 copies of it, so I might come back and pick it up.
You could probably skip that one.
I do have the second printing where it's like silver embossed, like gold background.
We have some of those too. I'll sell you one of those, but not the first print.
Okay. Right on. So yeah, make sure you visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard. That's on the west side. A wonderful comic shop. And also, if you're looking for sports memorabilia, they have great sports memorabilia. They have a signed Terrell Davis jersey that's really cool. Patrick Waugh.
Coin stuff,
Coin
cards.
stuff. And Bruce deals with all the coins, and he's super knowledgeable. I was hearing him talk to this one guy, and he says, look at all these expensive coins I have. He's like, those aren't worth shit.
Yeah, but he's very upfront.
I don't think he
have
said
terrible,
shit,
terrible
but
things.
that-
Oh, no, he probably did.
No, but he was a little more tactful than that. But they have everything if you're a collector that you need. They also have a Danger Girl statue that Andrew listened to a deal on. That's just hanging out.
It's been there forever. Just
I
come
know.
in. We'll probably give it to you if you want it.
Is it signed by J. Scott Campbell?
Sure,
Is
why
that why
not?
nobody wants it?
Yeah.
You should just sign it yourself as J. Scott Campbell.
Hey, he's from Colorado. Maybe you can get him into your store. I bet
was
if you
gonna
got
say.
J. Scott Campbell in your store, you'd have a line out the fucking door.
I bet you would. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That he's in
But you'd
real
have-
tight with Time Warp though.
You'd have to pull all of the like scantily clad women comics out of the back and put them outside.
That is true.
You would make bank that day. Oh, my god.
I don't think I want to deal with those type of people.
Before we start, I was laughing because last time I was there, I was looking and Rob Liefeld has a new comic out.
Why?
And it looks so bad. And then Andrew says, yeah, it's bad, but it's like funny bad.
It's him.
You have to look at it.
It's him telling Bible stories.
What?
It's called Covenant.
What does Moses look like? Does he look like Captain America, where he's
looks
like
more
a
like-
triangle?
More like Cable, but still.
oh,
So do you think
man.
Rob Liefeld's like Disney animators in the 70s where they just got lazy and he just redrew over like his old art? He's like, there you go.
Oh, I hope so. No,
Dude,
no,
he still probably makes lots of money though.
Oh yeah,
Because he's still like one of like the presidents of Image.
yeah. His art still sells comics. He's one of the creators
Really?
that people will buy comics just because he's on it.
What? So
Yeah.
bad. Oh, you know,
Oh,
if
my
somebody likes it,
goodness.
who am I to judge? Art's subjective, right?
I do kind of want to see this like, desert dwelling shepherd nomad who probably hasn't eaten very much in the last 20 years of his life, who also looks like fucking Captain America. Like, I want to see that Moses.
Pouches everywhere.
Well,
Pouches
I have bad
everywhere.
news. I think Andrew under-ordered the 4 copies he got.
Oh,
They're still there though.
no one wants them.
It was funny. I was talking to Andrew because I still read the Mega Man comic, and he gives
Yeah.
me like the cool variants. I'm like, hey man, does anybody else get Mega Man? He said no.
But you should. That book is really good.
It is. It's really good. I'm telling you, it's awesome. But no one else gets it.
Oh, that's funny.
So what's the minimum you have to order before we move on? Sorry.
Oh, I can order 1 copy. or
Really?
something. Yeah.
And they'll send it to you?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's no minimum order. You have to, like, when starting a comic book shop and stuff, you have to. I mean, I've never started a shop, so I don't know the exact numbers, but you do have to order X amount a month, like money-wise.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they obviously cut you a deal. You don't buy them for cover price.
right.
Yeah.
Because you have to make money. So
It's not,
that
it's not
makes
getting
sense.
shipped from Rob Liefeld's garage.
Right,
It's getting
right,
shipped from
yeah.
from a warehouse full of a lot of different comics.
Exactly.
So
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
And based on the money that you spend on orders, you have different tiers of like discounts that we get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. And okay, one more question. Sorry. So do
I
you
got
think
one
it's
too.
cool.
so do you think it's weird now that variant covers are worth more than comics like 50 years old?
That's not always the case. Okay, if you come in and you want to invest in something, don't invest in variant covers. Because for the most part, they're going to go down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they do so many variant covers.
Right.
If you want to invest in something, go with 1950s, 1960s stuff. Like, you're going to put more money up front.
Mm-hmm.
But, if you buy a Hulk comic with Deadpool on the cover for $200,
Yeah.
it might drop, $150 in the next 10 years. Whereas if you buy a 1950s comic that's $200, in 10, 15 years, it's going to be $250, $300.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
So-
I'm just curious now because I think it's such a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Where I have, I don't know, Amazing Spider-Man 23, and it's, $600-700, and I see some variants selling for thousands of bucks.
Right.
I'm like,
And that's very specific.
yeah.
variants.
Well, yeah, it's like the 1 in 200.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
But don't spend your money on that stuff.
yeah, don't.
Unless you want to do it at our shop. And
Yeah.
Come and
well, yeah,
give
because
me all your money for variants.
well, the two Andrew isn't like if you go to Mile High. Okay, so here's a great example. So I love the little Scotty Young Spider-Mans he draws, and what are those like 1 in 10? Maybe?
Yeah.
Even that. I mean, they might even come with like 1 every 3. I don't
Right.
know. So Andrew's like, oh yeah, just he like marks up $1. I'm like, cool. If you go to Mile High, like I have that one little baby Spider-Man where he's hanging upside down.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think I got it for $6. I think at your store, marked up $1. At Mile High right now, they're selling it for $79.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So, I'm just going to trash them and say why you should spend money at Andrew's shop. Because even if you want those cool variants, he's not going to, like, fuck you in the ass to get them.
You're never gonna get that interview with Chuck now.
He's going to listen to my fucking
Chuck
show.
won't listen to anything.
Yeah, and I'll still drill him on it. It's like, so why do you charge so much for comics? I'll ask him. I'm not afraid.
I ain't scared.
When I went up to Geek Fuel at my Denver Comic Con, I asked him why I should pick them over Loot Crate. And the guy said, whoa, yeah.
That's a legitimate business question.
Yeah, that's a legitimate
Yeah.
business question.
He has to
Yeah.
answer that
I don't
on
fuck
his
around.
own.
Cool, Brad, your turn.
So with digital comics, is that something you guys pay attention to, or you just kind of like throw your hands in the air and let the comic distributors deal with it for creators?
I pay attention to it, but just for my own personal benefit. Does that make sense? Like,
But not as a business. It's
not as a
something you
business,
worry
no,
about?
because it really doesn't affect it that much. Like,
You haven't seen your sales go down because of
no.
it? Okay.
And Marvel is doing a really smart thing where, all comics went up from $2.99 to $3.99. If Marvel has a $3.99 price tag on it now, they automatically give you the digital copy. Like it's included in the price.
Yeah.
Whereas DC will charge $3.99
Yeah.
for a book and it won't have a digital copy for the most part.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like it's
Yeah.
not that hard to
Just put a
to
code in
include
the
the
back.
digital copy.
I think my least favorite thing that DC did recently is the new Joker Endgame story was amazing, but they charge like $5 for the issues,
Yeah.
and you're like, there's nothing special about them. They're normal length,
Right.
and then they have this like 2-page Joker story in the end of each one.
Yeah.
that isn't even good.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer.
Yeah, it's all a
weird.
scam. Don't buy comics.
Yeah, I love comics. I'll still read them. I got this one that Andrew pulled aside for me. It's Man Wolf, and he has a sword that he fights on the moon.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Really quick, they announced all the Marvel Legends that are coming out,
Mhm.
and one of them is Cap Wolf. Captain America
Sweet.
as a werewolf. And that's going to be the best action figure ever. Anyway, that's just beside the point.
Yeah,
but-
no, hey, sign me up. Is he going to wear the unitard? That's all I care about.
It's Captain America. Like, they just reuse the body,
Oh,
but
so-
he's got a werewolf head.
So they just Captain America. They're like, let's just sculpt a werewolf head and put it on
Yeah,
all the
and
old
he's still,
Captain America.
he still has the Captain America
Does he really?
mask on
Oh,
also.
that's something I have to
Just a
get.
werewolf mouth.
What
It's
the
amazing.
hell?
No, it's the best thing ever.
Oh my goodness.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah, I want to see him get bit by a wolf and while he's backpacking through Europe, and it'll be Captain America Werewolf in London.
That's actually why we don't see Cap in
Captain
in
American
the
Werewolf in London.
Yeah,
in the when Cap shows up in the stinger of Ant-Man. Oh no, we do actually see a shot of him, don't we?
Oh, spoilers, dude!
Whatever.
Oh, you just
We're getting
ruined
there.
it.
You just ruined
Podcast over.
the end of the movie.
No, just the stinger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, bro. Now everyone knows Captain America is an Ant-Man.
Yeah, but what they don't know is that the actual secret story of Civil War is that Cap becomes a werewolf.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what's going to happen.
when the
Civil-
moon
the
is at
Civil-
its fullest.
The Civil War is inside of Captain America between the human and the wolf.
That's the best movie ever.
Yeah, It
Just
is.
can we just make a fan film of this?
We can do that.
Okay, let's do that.
Tagline: When the moon is full, the beast comes out.
Yeah.
So
See, the question is because the human side is a patriot, the wolf side communist.
oh no, a Nazi, bro.
Yeah,
He's a Nazi wolf.
It's a Hydra wolf.
So it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's fighting with himself because he's a Nazi wolf.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hydra.
We're on to something.
We are.
Kevin Feige, you can email us at realnerds@gmail.com.
Send your checks to.
If you need a director, we know J.J. Abrams, so we
Yeah,
can get this
we
shit
do.
hooked up.
We have his email.
Brad. Brad can be our director.
We have his email.
They're pulling a bunch of indie directors. You know,
Yeah.
I picked Brad for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Second it.
Yeah.
If anyone understands the plight
Captain
of the
Marvel?
female
That's-
superhero, it's Brad.
That's right.
Oh man.
So what do you want to start the show with, Andrew?
Let's do some mail.
Sweet. Oh yeah, we do have fan mail.
Oh, that was a good call then.
You know our show better than I do.
Oh.
Fan mail.
Oops. My passcode is 2010 if anyone wants to get on my iPad.
You know that it's an audio podcast. Like
Yep.
the listeners can't see the iPad.
I know, I just spoiled it. Cool, so Henry Jarvis sent us another fan mail. I don't know if
Sweet.
I want to read this one because it agrees with James. Hey, Real Nerds, just finished listening to the Minions episode. I thought I'd chime in on a few things. First of all, I'm glad you guys talked about Wet Hot American Summer, as it's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
I saw a trailer at the Alamo for it last
Yeah.
night, and I immediately was like, I gotta watch it again. That movie's really fun.
I know, I love the
Oh.
little, where's your swim buddy? And then the kid's thrown out of a van. 'cause
I
he was,
don't.
like,
I don't know
raped.
why. I don't know why I love the line. I want you inside me so good, but it's in the trailer, and I laughed so hard when he said it. I'm like, that's so awkward and out of place.
He goes on to say, if you liked it, I recommend checking out the film They Came Together, which is made by the same people and is similar, but instead of a parody of all summer camp movies, it's a parody of rom-coms.
Oh, cool.
It came out last year and went over a lot of people's heads, and many thought of it as just a really bad rom-com, where it was actually making fun of exactly that. So,
Oh, cool.
maybe it's too smart for people.
I'll check that out.
Also, James said he watched it because he heard the talks of making a sequel or whatever. Well, if you're recording this on Sunday, then the sequel is already out now. Netflix had made a 10-episode prequel, which is about the first day of camp. They got the entire cast back, as well as adding some new names, such as John Hamm, Kristen Wiig, Michael Cera, and Lake Bell, so you don't have to wait any longer.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to watch some of it this weekend, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
Lastly, I ran into Brad on Tuesday, and we briefly talked about Minions. After listening to the episode, I have to say I agree with James. Fuck James.
Yeah.
Minions is easily one of the worst films I've seen this year. As of right now, it's the 7th worst film of the 60 I've seen released this year.
Wow.
Just want to let James know that he's not alone in hating the film, and I agree with almost everything he said.
Thank you.
James is
And
wrong.
to be fair, I do agree with Ryan that there are some fun. Like there are parts where I was sitting next to Brad. He can attest. I laughed at parts of this movie.
He did it.
But see,
It's
that's the
just
thing.
not good.
'Cause he probably enjoyed this movie, and he's like, I'm just going to go on and fucking hate it because I said I did.
No,
Fuck
I
this
would-
movie. Fuck you.
I would never do that, and you know I would never do that.
That means fuck you and Minion talk.
I came on the show and talked about how much I love fucking the Witch Hunters movie a few years ago. Like, if I like a movie, I will admit that I like that movie. I wanted that movie to be good.
What do you think about the whole Minions craze?
Okay. Honestly, you're
Yeah.
gonna hate me.
No, I'm just
fucking hate the Minions.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I cannot stand them. Like
not
the fact,
cool.
the fact that they got their own movie just like destroyed me.
Here's the thing: is I was just poking James the whole episode.
No, I know.
I mean, the first 30 minutes are pretty funny, and then the rest of the time it's cute.
my mom's really excited to listen to it because I told her like, oh my god, like Brian gets on there and he's like, battery's not included in a great movie, and she just gave me this look like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, because it's not.
You were so wrong.
You can if you go to IMDb, people agree with me. I think it's like 6.2 on IMDb.
6.2 is good on IMDb.
No, that's like average.
No, the
That's
average is like
average.
6.5.
All you have to do is say like one movie that James really loves and it's not good. He's like, what the fuck?
I mean, James is right. Batteries not included is amazing.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I bet if we go on there, I bet Army of Darkness is like 6.7.
You know, collectively, people like shit.
Yeah.
So when they rate things on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, it's all wrong.
I'm looking it up right now.
I mean,
I am, no, I
JCVD
am, I am
has,
too.
Are you looking at-
Yeah,
Look it
yeah.
up on your phone since
I'll,
I have this
I'll find
email
out.
open.
I'll find out.
too,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Brian
yeah.
is
IMDb
turning
has
on
a
me.
7.5, so obviously it's wrong.
You keep reading the email. I'll
Okay,
find
cool.
out.
I also say that I'm a total fucking hypocrite because I love Transformers Full. As you like my marky mark I just did there.
I think we just found a transformer.
As a super entertaining turn your brain off film that myself and my 6-year-old brother watch all the time because I like watching giant robots fight each other. And often when I explain this, I just say that it's easy entertainment, which is an argument that Ryan had. Yeah. I mean, I like the third one. The fourth one was dog shit.
There's some dog shit movies that can be funny and entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say there wasn't. Batteries not included.
So put in a guess. What do you think that the how many stars do you think that Army of Darkness has on IMDb?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd say 7.
Okay. Yeah. So you are closer. I said 6.7. It's 7.6.
Cool.
So we were both within a
And
point.
then what's batteries not included?
I don't know. I'll go look
Yeah,
at
look
it.
that one up.
All right.
I'm guessing 6.4. It's probably like 7.8.
I hope it's higher. I hope it's like 8.4. I hope it's the second highest movie. That's the thing. 8.4 is higher than Shawshank Redemption, I think.
No, I think Shawshank is 9.0.
Oh, you're right.
8.8.
I think you're right.
I think to get in the top 250, it has to be like 8.3 or something.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any. Anyway, whatever. IMDb is not actually a very good metric for film. Is my point.
You just said I thought I'd throw this in there because the review got pretty heated. I agree with James. I understand that it was made to entertain an audience that isn't me. When leaving the theater, my brother told me he liked this more than Inside Out, which made me sad. But yeah, sorry for the long letter. I'm sure people are eagerly awaiting a review of Ant-Man, and I'm talking about stupid comedies and stupid kid films. Hope you liked Ant-Man, and hope Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp is a good one.
So you were right. 6.5.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, told you.
You know movies.
I do. I probably looked that up, and I'm like, I'll get James on this.
Again, it's simply the fact that IMDb is a really everything between 6 and 8 is a pretty solid film. Like those are pretty good films. Like
yeah,
at least to a point where you could see it, and some people will like them, and some people won't.
Yeah,
I
even think sometimes IMDb is hard because it's their ratings are fan driven. Where I mean, they always have Shawshank as the best movie of all time. It's a good movie, but the best, I don't think so. I mean, it's not Army of Darkness, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for fan mail.
What's next?
To prove a point that IMDb is really bad at actually being a metric for film, you take a guess at what the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is.
5.7.
Fucking A, 5.8. You're really close, but still, that movie
it's
is
because
not.
I rate all movies on IMDb, and that's what I rate them.
If you turn it into a 5-star rating, that's a 3 out of 5 stars movie. That's not 3 out of 5 stars. Like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
2.5, because it'd be 6 to be 3, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm adding 0.2 points.
Yeah, so it's
to
like
it.
2.5.
No, that's not how fucking math works. Oh my god.
That is.
No, it's not.
Because you didn't bump up to the next level, so
I bumped up to the next level and divided by half. So it means that it's like it's 10% of a point.
You're never going to sell me on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'm not saying it's good. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a bad movie. At best, it is a 1.5 star out of 5
That's
movie.
the movie that Alan Moore wanted to commit suicide over.
Well, yeah, but that's because he's melodramatic.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
This is also a guy who copied off my math homework, so
Just geometry.
All right, what's next?
But I don't think we should argue about the point scale system at IMDb. I think I proved I'm a lot more correct than I am wrong.
I think you're really good at guessing how bad IMDb scores are.
Maybe.
Or inaccurate.
Or maybe really good at it.
You're really good at it. The scores are dumb.
Yeah, maybe.
What are we doing next?
I don't know.
Stats?
Cool.
This is the box office stats.
So we're going to change this again. As we were talking about it and thinking about it, we decided that we're going to start predicting next week's numbers. This week, I'll let you know that Ant-Man did $59 million, which is the lowest Marvel movie since The Incredible Hulk. The problem is it actually got a really high cinema score rating, so the word of mouth is going to be really good. So I'm guessing it's going to have some legs.
Everybody well, spoilers for later in the podcast, but everybody, when they ask me, like, hey, should I go see Ant-Man? And I go, yeah, they're always like, oh, really? Like, they're always surprised.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit to catch on.
Yeah. And it's because it's a movie about a guy who gets small and controls ants.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the weirdest Marvel movie.
And the trailers are not great trailers.
No.
So,
They're not. I think the first trailer kind of hurt it.
Yeah. I mean, you compare it to, like, Guardians of the Galaxy is also really weird, but compare either of those Ant-Man trailers to that Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. Everybody saw Guardians of the Galaxy and was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know why there's a raccoon, but I am in.
Because
and
they put
that
a
never
sweet
happened
song to it, too.
Totally.
You know?
Oh, absolutely.
A song people know.
It's a stupid trick, but it works.
Yeah, all the time. So. I mean, just look at Fantastic Four.
God.
We'll talk about that in movie news. Because there's more news about Fantastic Four. It's kind of making me laugh. Not in a good way. So next week, we're seeing Pixels, I guess. Which I think looks beautiful. I was watching it in IMAX 3D, and holy shit, it looks amazing in 3D.
Really?
Because, like, the pixels are blowing up, and they're, like, flying off the screen, and they're pointing guns. I'm like, wow, this looks great in 3D. Yeah, so Pixels, I can't get a reading on this movie at all.
Yeah. My prediction will be that Ant-Man will still win the weekend.
Really?
But I think that Pixels will come in number 2 and beat out Trainwreck for sure.
How much do you think it's going to do?
I don't know.
That's what this game is, not what position it's going to come in. 69. Brad,
I'll give it 50.
50 million?
Shoot, I was gonna say 50 myself. So I'll say 51.
Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Actually, I'm probably the only Adam Sandler fan here, and I'm going to say it's going to do 39.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna tank. Is that
I
a
don't know.
tanking score?
I don't.
Well,
I know it costs $130 million to make, so probably. Yeah. I just don't know. I can't get a read on it. I don't know who they're trying to sell it to.
Yeah.
Is it a kid movie, or is it
It's so nostalgic.
made for older people? Yeah, because even there's trailers that on their website that are better because Peter Dinklage's character is in prison and stuff, and he's pretty funny and really weird in the little character stuff they do.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it's trying to appeal to. I mean, kids will like the bright colors, but all the video games are Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Paperboy and Joust, stuff that no one else really knows. I mean, I guess Pac-Man's universal. I don't know. I'm stumped. I'm going to say 39 million just to be conservative.
I feel like that movie should appeal to all of us, and I don't think it does.
I think it's because the trailer's not good. The
Yeah.
trailer is not good.
I think it's entirely possible that that movie is really fun. Like it could be. I was gonna say something really bombastic, which is it could be like Lego Movie fun, where there's actually a lot of references and a lot of cool stuff in
That's
there.
what
and
I'm
like,
hoping.
You know, or even Wreck-It Ralph. Like
Yeah.
it could be Wreck-It Ralph, but the trailer doesn't tell me. That
No,
it is.
because I mean, if you go to the website, they do have like an extended trailer, and I guess the climax of the movie is they go to like the Pixels world and they fight on a Donkey Kong like board.
Yeah.
And it looks really fun, but
Yeah.
they never really convey that. In it, they say, "Oh, Donkey Kong, there he is." But if you watch extended trailer, like Adam Sandler grabs like the mallet and it's making all the noises, and
Yeah.
so I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think it's going to do well, Andrew?
I have no interest in it. Like
Yeah.
I was saying, that movie should appeal to me,
Yeah.
and it doesn't at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they don't know how to sell it.
Right.
And I think that's why it's maybe not going to do very well.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to. I like Adam Sandler a lot, but I also want to see him do something like Punch Drunk Love again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually am kind of rooting for all of his movies to do poorly, so that he'll go do some
They won't.
indie dramas. I know they won't. I'm just like,
I know it's weird because I when he does indie dramas like Men, Women, and Children, it grosses like $2 million.
oh my god, that movie.
And then my favorite thing to point to is the only Adam Sandler movie I have never seen is Jack and Jill. That made $97 million.
What did Grown Ups 2 do? Do you guys know?
Like 140.
Jesus,
Yeah.
seriously?
The first one did like 170.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know because I like Adam Sandler, but I don't know what general audiences like about him. I guess they just want him to be goofy. I guess
I don't know
because-
what I'm supposed to like about him. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
No, because I think he's really funny. And when I watched Happy Gilmore and stuff again, I said, yeah, you can see why he's popular because he's
Yeah.
silly as shit.
Yeah.
But I also miss Adam Sandler where his movies don't make any sense and, you know, he's sleeping with 80-year-old Asian women and I miss that stuff. Hey, you know what breakfast? So yeah. So cool. We'll see next week what Pixels will do. We'll see it in IMAX 3D.
I'll be in Kansas City, so.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that's
luck.
right. You'll be showing your film
Yeah.
in Kansas City. So if you're out in Kansas City, make sure you say hi to Brad. He'll be representing Denver.
Yep. What up?
What up, D-Town? Is that a nickname for Denver?
No, let's move on.
Okay. Let's do real news.
Oh, okay.
It's real news.
Andrew's here, and he wanted to mention some Comic-Con stuff from a different perspective.
Let's ease into it.
Sure.
Let's do the normal
Okay.
news. What's going
Well,
on?
here-
And then when I feel like raging, I will rage.
I've got. I think I've got a couple of like comic book centric news things for this week that
Okay.
will maybe get you going. So they have announced this week that they're going to do an animated film version of The Killing Joke. So hopefully, you know, in the style of your, you know, Dark Knight Returns and, you know, all of those really solid movies. Even if like I don't like Dark Knight Returns as much as like Assault on Arkham was, but still DC's really good at making those animated films. So, and The Killing Joke is awesome. So
It is.
I look forward
except
to that
except my girlfriend gets destroyed in it. That's my only problem.
one. Sure. Yeah.
Barbara.
Speaking of, how much of Batman have you played the game?
I'm like halfway through it.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you figured out who the Arkham Knight is yet?
No.
Okay. We'll move on. So
We should kick him out of the room and have this conversation.
how do you feel? Because you know, and I'm sure you saw it coming. because they fucking telegraph it.
Yeah.
Were you impressed, or were you just like, oh, okay,
say
this
anything
again?
without giving it away?
All right, that's fine. So,
Thanks, guys.
You're good. You're good.
I don't want to know either. Eventually, I'm going to play that game.
You're not on mic at all.
I don't care.
Okay.
Just looking over there not saying
I don't
anything.
care.
We
But
forgot
when
you
you
were
play the
here.
game like in 6 years?
Yeah. When it's $20.
Oh.
Have
Well-
you played
And it comes with a free PlayStation.
the Batgirl DLC.
No, I haven't played. Is that out yet?
It is out.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to
For,
play that. I played the Harley
season
one, and
pass
the Harley one
holders.
is not very good.
That's what I heard about the Batgirl one also.
Oh, really?
And
It's good.
I thought the end
Come
of the
on.
Batgirl... I haven't played it. Like,
No, I know.
everything that happens in the games, but
Yeah.
I haven't played them.
Oh, okay.
Or at least this one. I played all the other ones. Never mind. Move on.
But
Okay.
well, I was because
I-
season pass for Arkham Knight is $40, and that gives you like early access to this character map with Batgirl. And I was saying, man, should I get it? I already spent $100 on limited edition freaking version of the game. I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait and I'll see how long it is. And so I read the review on IGN. They said an hour.
Yeah, like less than an hour.
Yeah.
Like 45
And then they said
minutes
they
or
don't let you
something.
go back in and really do anything. Like you can find the collectibles. I'm saying, if that's the case, shouldn't you like unlock her and be able to play her in the whole game?
Yeah, like
run
that's
around
what I
Gotham?
want. I want to be able to run around Gotham as Batgirl.
And then I got
Like,
pissed because like next month's DLC is just skins and the 1989 Batmobile, which is cool. But I don't give a shit about that.
I'm so glad I didn't buy that.
Yeah, so now I'm just gonna buy them individually.
I mean, the fact that they put out that season pass as $40, which is already insane, and then the Harley Quinn expansion is not great. Like, it's really disappointing. To hear that the Batgirl one is short.
And that's what I mean. Like skins, really? That's your. And Warner Brothers owns Mortal Kombat, but it's produced by NetherRealm. When I bought the premium for Mortal Kombat, it came with the season pass in it.
Yeah.
And when you get it, you get free skins all the time. They don't charge you for the skins.
Yeah.
So when they do an update on the game, like, oh, here's a free skin.
Does
Yeah.
that come with the additional characters also, or is it just the skins?
The additional characters too.
It's everything?
Yeah. So I mean, you have to buy the premium edition,
Right.
which is like $80.
That's still worth it.
But you
though.
still get 4 characters, and I think I've gotten 16 skins.
Oh, wow.
And they just the one I just downloaded, they gave you 4 more fatalities and like 3 more brutalities for free.
Jeez.
So I mean, that makes sense to me. But you're going to charge me $40 for a 1989 Batman skin? Fuck you. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people like are raging against it because they said even if you get the season pass, it's still going to cost an additional like $20-$30 for all the DLC. So that game's like $200. It's not worth it.
That's
Yeah.
not worth it at all.
So for Brad, I mean, the game's fun, but I mean, if you wait long enough, they'll do a Game of the Year edition and you'll get everything.
That's
Yeah.
what I did with the other two.
It's really too bad because like that game is really well made and tight, and the main story is really good. But I feel like everything they do alongside of it, like the Two-Face story and the Penguin story, are just rehashes. Like it's stuff I've done before. There are fewer villains and a lot fewer deep cuts from Batman than I would have wanted. And then to hear that the expansions are not what I was hoping for
I know,
is
that's
really
what I mean.
disappointing.
Like, really, your season pass is skins?
Yeah,
That's
like
stupid.
I want like 4 hours of Batgirl, and I want to run around the city as Batgirl.
I wonder if enough people complain about it, they'll put out a patch where you can play as Batgirl in the city. I bet they will.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
Warner Brothers
except-
cares. Like, I think they're just like, you already gave us your money.
I don't know.
Why
Yeah.
would we do that?
I hope because I mean the Mortal Kombat guys do. I mean because I love Mortal Kombat and I follow them. Their patches like they listen to tournament. I can't say
Tournament.
Thank you.
Tournament.
Players and casual players, and they always readjust the game and they add more stuff.
But
and-
that's a living, breathing game. Like that's a game that should do that because it's so competitive. Whereas with this, like it's out there. They're gonna put more of their time into fixing the PC version because that's been such a debacle than they ever are fixing the fact that the content is not as good as it
that's
should
a
have
bummer.
been. Our only hope at this point is that even though Rocksteady's not going to make another one of these, the hope is, for me at least, that somebody else, like Warner Brothers gives it to somebody else, gives them that engine, they make another game that is at least very close in quality, like closer than Origins was, but tell a different story. Go make it Batgirl for half the game. Make it like, you know.
I really hope they make like an animated series one. Like one of my favorite games on Sega Genesis is they had an animated series like 2D beat 'em up.
That game is so hard.
Yeah, it's super hard, but you got like Contra power ups where you'd have like batarangs that would go across the whole screen, and
They did one for GameCube that was like that.
yeah, it was.
It wasn't side scrolling, but it was the Batman Adventures.
Yeah. No, I loved that one.
Yeah, it was
because,
decent.
Yeah, I mean the controls weren't very good,
Yeah.
but the story was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
because it had. Yeah, they should just do that.
Yeah.
Why does everything have to be dark and grimy all the time?
Yeah, that's honestly what I would want. Speaking of dark and grimy, have you gotten the Entertainment Weekly that's got the Apocalypse?
I don't.
Cover on it yet?
For some reason, my Entertainment Weekly didn't come this week.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're missing out. So
Am I?
we get the like early costume sets for the important ones here are Psylocke and Apocalypse. So we know what Apocalypse is going to look like, and we also have
like
some
he does in the
screenshots where he
comic.
hangs out. This is like he hangs out in alleys and such. I guess is what he's going to do in the movie.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah,
the worst.
So honestly, he looks like a really lame Marvel Studios. Like he looks like one of the villains from the last few Marvel movies where you're like, okay, like, you know, Ronan is cool and all, but he just like he looks like whatever. Or the guy from Thor 2, or like where they're all just kind of throwaway villains.
Have you
Like he
seen
looks
that?
like one of those.
Have you seen the memes where they compare him to Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers
He
movie?
looks exactly like Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie.
Have you seen the one where it's the Apocalypse body, but they put Prince's head on it? And it says Apocalypse Rain? It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing.
Oh man.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Bryan Singer does really good with X-Men movies,
Yeah.
and Oscar Isaac's a really great actor. So
Yeah, when we get to what we've been watching, like I've been watching through the Road Cut this week, and that movie's really good. I hope that
cool.
this movie is still really good.
yeah,
but
I mean, I've only saw the one picture where he's like looking at camera or something. I haven't
yeah,
really delved into it.
It's not exciting.
no, it's not.
Storm. I thought Storm was cool.
Storm
I'm glad
was
they're doing
cool.
the Mohawk Storm.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be great.
Oh, cool. So like 80 Storm. Love it.
Psylocke is a Psylocke ass costume.
Yep.
It is like Olivia Wilde, and there's no hips on the
Olivia
costume.
Munn.
Olivia
Munn,
Munn, I
yeah.
mean.
Because I didn't get an erection when I saw it.
God damn it.
That's how I changed my Olivia's.
And which that is the part that like there's something, because I used to watch Attack of the Show. There's something when I see Olivia Munn, I like her in the newsroom, but in anything else I see her and I'm like, oh great, Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
All right,
She's not.
That's too bad.
She's not an actress. Like, I think she's going to
Yeah.
be terrible in that role. And the best we can hope for
She doesn't
is
talk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they
Yeah.
cast a lot of. It's the same thing with Quicksilver. Like when they cast him, everybody was like, "Oh, Quicksilver's in this movie." He was in it for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
which is fine, and I thought that casting was fine. Like whatever.
Yeah.
but I think that's what they're going to do with her.
Probably.
Is just have her kind of in the background. Although
Yeah.
that picture kind of makes me think
Well,
maybe they're
I
going
was
to make
reading
her
that
one of the
she's
four
one of
horsemen.
the, she's one of the four horsemen.
That's what.
Her, Magneto, Storm, and I don't know who the other one is.
And that makes sense, especially with the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny because she's got like those bands around her hip, and I'm like, holy crap! Like that's a 90s superhero costume. Like,
There's
oh
no,
my
yeah,
gosh.
there's no point for that. What is
Yeah.
that holding up?
Bryan
What does that
Singer's
do?
like, whatever. We'll
Yeah,
just
he
do
doesn't
it
care.
this way.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Superman again.
It's at least more interesting than the Apocalypse costume. That's for
Oh,
sure.
it's terrible.
Is it?
He's all
Yeah.
he's got a blue head. Apocalypse's head is not blue.
Yeah, well, and it just, I don't know. Like the pipes run out of the side. He kind of looks like a not a Romulan. The guys from like DS9 who've got two spines. Man.
Cardassian?
Yeah, he kind of looks like a Cardassian because he's got, if like from the side he does, because he's got pipes that run out of the side of his neck or the side of his head down his neck. It's
And he's
weird.
short too. He's like
Yeah. that's
really
weird,
short.
too.
Well,
Isn't he
not-
like 7 feet tall in the comics?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the cover, they at least photoshopped him to be taller.
Or
but
he-
when he's hanging out in an alley, which is apparently all he does in those screenshots, it's a lot less.
Or is he
thrilling.
one of those people that is he one who just changes height
He
constantly?
can change height,
Yeah,
but
that's what I
like
thought.
basic standard, they usually draw him at like 7 feet.
Yeah, I say he's a cool villain.
Yeah.
We'll see. Isn't he supposed to be the first mutant, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Speaking of Quicksilver, because I was watching The Office, did you realize that he's Michael Scott's nephew? That he's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Evan Peters.
that's funny.
Yeah. He spanks. I still laugh out loud every time I see him when he just pulls him over and spanks his ass. Oh, Michael Scott.
So we got a new trailer. I haven't actually watched it, but you made reference to it earlier. We got a new trailer for Fantastic Four. Ryan, tell me what's going on with Fantastic Four.
They don't know either. The problem is remember the first trailer where it's dark?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't want these powers. And now they've rebranded it as, it's lots of fun. This movie's going to be fun. And then it was supposed to come out in IMAX 3D. And so we all know that Josh Trank is not one of their favorite people right now. And they had to reshoot a lot of the movie. And they don't have time to post-convert it. So it's not coming out in 3D. And they're saying, Josh Trank released a statement. It's just because it was supposed to be 2D. And I read that on The Hollywood Reporter. And the thing with The Hollywood Reporter is they are actually inside Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who reported about his like dogs wrecking like $100,000 worth of stuff. And he'd be late to the set.
Yeah, he lost a Star Wars movie because he did such a terrible job
Yeah.
on the Fantastic Four
Because
movie.
that Simon Kinberg, who is the
Yeah.
producer on Star Wars, said, "No, dude, you don't want this guy because he's not professional."
Mm-hmm.
And so now they had to go back, and I don't know who reshot the parts of the film, but they had to go back and reshoot it, and they don't have time to post convert it. And so, because they still have to hit that release date, because I think that's one of Fox's biggest tentpole movies this year.
Yeah, and it's next month.
Yeah, it's that movie, and it's just really, it's kind of aggravating to know somebody who made one movie and it was a hit, Chronicle, and then he was given like keys to a kingdom, not only a Marvel superhero movie, but like, dude, you can do Boba Fett, and he's like, fuck it. I mean, wouldn't you kill to have that opportunity to just be able to direct a Star Wars movie?
That's pretty irresponsible, yeah. But I mean, also not all directors are good for everything,
Well, no, I understand
But this
that.
isn't about being it's not being about being the right fit. Like I would argue that Colin Trevorrow was a poor fit for Jurassic Park. I don't think he's a bad director, and I would still bet movies on him going forward. But
No, I'm saying is like, even if you did get the keys to Boba Fett, like, even if he was professional about it, he could also turn in a bad product. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, but you're ruining your chance because you're an asshole. Is basically what it is.
it's the disrespect. Like
Yeah.
if he really did run the business that poorly, like that guy's never going to work again.
No, he's
So
not.
I want your guys' opinion on something. Like I was reading this article and they were talking about getting these relatively unknown directors for these big budget movies.
Right.
And that's the norm right now.
Uh-huh.
And this article was saying that, or at least they were posting the theory that it's because these guys play ball. Does that make sense?
I would say
and I
so.
don't know. What do you guys think about
Well,
that?
I know that's Kevin Smith said that about
the directors who take direction.
yeah
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Kevin
Because
Smith said
Marvel
that
knows
about
what they want to
Mallrats.
do.
because he was given $3 million. They're like, well, you need $6 million to make that, and he said, well, I don't need $6 million. It's like, you do, and he would listen to their things. I think
That's
you're
what they taught
right.
us in school. Is like, even if you want to make a low budget movie, like it has to start at $3 million, or they won't take you like seriously.
Yeah.
Even though you can do it cheaper, which would be great. There's just this stigma of like you can't make a good movie for less than that.
Yeah, I mean, that you're right. It's going around, the circles right now that they hire these guys and say, like, I mean, I guess a good example would be Edgar Wright on Ant-Man. He wanted to make it a certain way, and they said, no, you can't make it that way. You have to make it a certain way for it to fit in our universe. And they're like, nope.
But so, okay, with is it the Russo brothers who do Captain
Yeah.
America? They've done stuff and they've had their hits and stuff, but they were never like household
No.
names.
Right.
So you've seen a lot of their movies, right?
Yeah.
Does it have their feel to it? Or does it feel more like their movie, or does it feel more like a Marvel movie?
I think the Marvel, what they do well is they do allow the directors to kind of have their input into it.
Agreed.
Because I would argue James Gunn is maybe the only one who could do Guardians of the Galaxy because he's goofy enough.
And that feels like a James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think the Russos, because they have that comedic timing, works really well for the Captain America being the guy out of place.
And I think a really good example is like if you compare. I agree with you. I think Marvel's really good at it because if you compare Thor 1 and Thor 2, those are drastically different movies, and especially
Yeah.
in the way that they are directed. Because
Yeah.
the Kenneth Branagh one is a Kenneth Branagh ass movie, and the
Alan Taylor.
one, you compare that to like the Terminator movie we just saw. Like stylistically, they're very similar because they let their movies stand on their own, and those two movies feel very different because the directors are different. I think that when they go, I think that the other studios aren't doing as good of a job with that. Like, there is nothing about Jurassic Park or Jurassic World that feels like a Colin Trevorrow movie to me. But at the same time, because I've only seen one of his films, I don't even know that I know what that looks like.
Right.
Unfortunately, all I can do is I can look at the movie he made, and based on how I feel, say either he's not a good fit, or it's exactly what you're saying, which is that he has a lot of really good ideas and could have made a great movie, but the studio is actually is really directing that movie to some degree, right? Like.
And I think a lot
It's
with
this
the
question
universe
about-
building movies now is
Yeah.
the studios are really into them.
Yeah,
I mean, you can, whether it's Jurassic World, which I liked, but, the Suicide Squad and the Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Now you have, I mean, it does look like a Zack Snyder film, but you still have to have those little things. 'Cause everyone's universe build now, and I think is silly because
Yeah. I think
just make a movie.
I think that's the problem with DC films in general right now is they're making these films for the bigger world. Whereas watching all of the Marvel movies, I feel like the only one that didn't stand on its own two legs was the second Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of that and the problems with that movie, same things with Amazing Spider-Man 2 when that came out, is they just wanted to do way too much to connect the worlds together.
Agreed.
And I think the actual Marvel movie universe, up until this point, has been really good about, we'll reference things, but you don't need to know anything else about these worlds.
Yeah, they rely on the stingers and the
Right.
little Easter eggs to tie their movie together and build their universe, rather than, you know, like you don't need to squeeze the Collector into Thor 2
Right.
when you can just put him in the stinger at the end.
Right.
And we all kind of know, like, oh, for this bigger story that we're telling, this is important. But for this movie is just about this
Right.
evil elf guy.
And that's what DC doesn't understand with their movies, because they're throwing so much stuff in. And okay, granted, we've only had one proper DC world movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, their problem is that their characters suck.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true also.
Like, there's not. That's the difference. Is that like Marvel's villains suck, but they make their characters enough fun that it's like, oh, okay, this guy's. They do. I mean, look, they're really fun, but the truth is, you could take as good as Ronan is in Guardians of the Galaxy, like you could take any villain and be like, hey, he's got a big hammer and he can blow up worlds. Like he's fine, he's serviceable, but unlike a Joker, he's not the reason you go see the movie. You know, he's not the thing where you walk in and you're like, oh, how cool was that when Ronan did this? Like, there's some cool parts, you know. Like, Thanos is different, but we haven't even seen that movie yet. There are some villains that I think stand out being... Loki is a good example. Loki's a great villain. There's a reason why he's got 2 movies where he gets to be the bad guy. But for the most part, they do have these villains that are like, you know...
It is. They
you
play 'em
compare
off-
the motivation for the guy in Thor 2 and the motivation for Ronan and half of the other villains is like, okay, they're all the same.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean...
I don't even remember what the motivations, like, I don't even remember who the real villain in Iron Man 2 is. Like, there's Whiplash is in there,
but
and
it's
then, like,
pretty much the
Justin
same
Hammer.
motivation.
Yeah.
Justin Hammer, dude. Remember
Yeah.
when he came out on stage, he was dancing?
Sam Rockwell dances, and then I guess he's a bad guy somehow. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
'cause he's
know.
awesome.
Like, that movie's really fun. I like that movie. I'm not arguing that any of them are bad. I'm just arguing that, like, they care more about the characters, about the actual person I'm following than the villain, which makes their movies really good. Because, you know...
Right, we don't need this entire backstory and this entire origin for these villains. Just accept that, you know,
Right.
Ant-Man's gonna fight a dude now.
Yeah,
and it doesn't
like-
matter who he's fighting.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, we're going to save it for later, but...
Right, I was gonna say, we probably will have this conversation again
But
later.
now that we're on it, so my biggest problem with the Suicide Squad trailer was when Will Smith said we're some sort of Suicide Squad. I think that was my least favorite part of it. Other than that, I kind of had fun with it.
there should be a caveat here, which is that is not a Suicide Squad trailer. Like,
Yeah.
they have come out and made sure, like, look, we released this because it leaked. This was never because there are audio parts of that trailer that are, like, not great. Like, that trailer's clearly not finished.
Oh, no,
Like, it was not for
I'm well aware.
consumption. But I agree with you, that line is horrible.
Okay, so you guys probably talked about it last week. I'm not sure.
A little,
but
yeah.
The reaction that Warner Brothers had to that trailer being leaked at Comic-Con was probably the most off-putting thing that they could do for their films.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I mean, you know, I don't know how many of us have gone to Comic-Con before, but
Me and this guy.
yeah, it's like when you go, you're not sad that you don't go because you know, like, that's the joke. We've talked about that
Yeah.
before, Ryan,
Oh,
where
yeah.
it doesn't matter if I go to Hall H and see these things because I'm going to see them in 5 minutes anyway when
Right.
somebody puts it on the internet.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
Warner Brothers has to know that. Like,
It's been happening for years.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you saw their reaction and you just wanted to scream, like, are you guys new?
Yeah, like, how
where
are
have
you not...
been?
Well, and that's-
You've had them leak before.
And that's my whole argument. It's like, once they debut at Hall H, just fucking release them.
Yeah.
And make sure they look good.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they did that with Batman, Superman. Just do it for Suicide Squad.
Right.
Do
Yeah.
it. I mean, Star Wars did it. Just do it because you're right. Oh, don't record this. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, that's basically what happens.
And I understand, like, when it's something, when it's like 20 minutes of footage or when it's like a really
Right,
unique footage that
that's
usually
different.
is shown in a special room, like it's not in the big Hall H room, like the Warcraft footage that leaked that is really hard to watch on the phone that it was recorded. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Keep that stuff
Yeah.
under wraps. It may not be done. Like there are a lot of times where they'll release that kind of stuff at Comic-Con and like there's like placeholder visual effects and things like that in there. Like sure, don't release that on purpose. And most people a lot of times that stuff doesn't link because people are like, this isn't, it's only half good anyway. Like,
Right.
we can't even make anything from it. But if it's a trailer or almost a trailer, like, why are you surprised?
Well, and I'm not a big fan of like the Fox movies, like the Marvel Fox Studios, the X-Men, Fantastic Four stuff. That's not.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff. But
Yeah.
they did the Deadpool trailer that premiered also, and somebody leaked it. And instead of freaking out like Warner Brothers did, Fox said, "Guys, it's not where we want it to be. We'll put it out in 3 weeks."
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a hissy fit about it. They were
Right.
just like, "We're not going to show it because it's not ready."
Yeah, they were like, we'll clean it up a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit. And, yeah.
We're like, we want to give you the best possible thing.
Right.
And I think I'm not a Deadpool guy either.
Yeah.
But that makes me want to see Deadpool more because the studio is supportive of it. You know what I mean? They're not like, "Oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe you would judge us based on that."
Because it comes across like the studio going like, why do you want to see this so bad?
Exactly.
Why do you care about our movie? Like,
It's
come
the
on.
worst.
I was reading something online too that said like if people are willing to like bootleg your trailer, like that's a really good indicator that there's an audience for it and you should embrace
Exactly.
it.
Right. Yeah.
If people aren't sharing it, then you should be worried.
Right.
Yeah, it's all the movies that were there that I don't know anything about. Those are the movies that I'm concerned
Seriously,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although Suicide Squad is going to be terrible, just for the record.
I am kind of worried, even though there's some stuff in there I really like. Tonally, that quote trailer is awful.
I think the part with Harley Quinn, Joker, and Batman at the beginning looks cool.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff is flashbacks.
Yeah,
totally.
it's got to
totally.
be.
It has to be, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't fit Joker into that. And like you guys all watched it, I'm assuming.
Well, there's a lot of Joker in that clip.
There's a lot of Joker in it, but at the very end, he has somebody tied to the gurney, and he's like obviously torturing them. There's like a split second in that trailer where you see like Dr. Quinn strapped to a gurney, and she's like in her like doctoring outfit or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see him torture her into becoming Harlequin.
Yeah, and I'm sure that scene we see earlier where she's like, I think naked and like against a wall and like
Right.
doesn't have any tattoos and stuff like that. That's clearly probably
Right,
after
right.
that. Like, yeah, I agree.
I don't think that that's going to work well for the narrative that they're trying to. This is the third movie. It comes out after Batman Superman.
Yeah.
Yes.
August, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you count Man of Steel as the first of them,
Well, they are, so we might as well.
yeah, I
But-
guess.
Yeah, because it all ties together. Remember, Bruce Wayne is sad because Bruce Wayne Financial was destroyed.
'Cause he blew up his building.
The place where I think it might work, and this is what I was talking about last week, is if they are setting up the Joker as a like horrible killer person, like an actual maniacal person, and so we see like that kind of a Joker for the first time, then if the Batman movie is the Red Hood story, that would be cool. Like if you set up this character as somebody who's really vicious and bad, and then you make a movie that's a standalone Batman movie where the Joker kills a kid, that could be cool. But I don't know that makes for a great Suicide Squad movie.
Right. I agree with you, but I think it would be hard to do that as the first Batman movie because you kind of have to, like, Joker has to earn that death, and we have to be connected to Robin in some way.
I agree.
Like, you can't introduce him and then kill him and then be like, look how bad the Joker is. I 100% agree that DC would do that,
Right.
but they shouldn't do
That's
that.
what I was gonna say. It's like I agree with you that like that character absolutely needs to earn things. I think any character in a DC movie should have to earn things.
Fair enough.
It'd be nice if they could do that ever. But so far, that's not what they've done.
And yeah, we're not
Yeah.
going to get any of that.
Anyway,
Oh, I just got real sad.
what else was there from Comic-Con that you wanted to talk about? We've gotten a little derailed. Is there anything-
Pretty much just the werewolf Captain America. That was it. That was the most exciting thing. So,
Gotcha. Cool.
no, Batman Ninja Turtles. Come on, it's gonna be great. You don't care at all?
Well, I think I'm still shocked by they're even doing it. Like what deal did DC make with IDW? Like, what was the meaning for that? Like,
Well, so
we should cross these two over.
They've been doing that though. They actually came out with a Green Lantern Star Trek this week, and that's IDW and DC also. So I think we're going to see a lot more of those come out.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, if I was like DC and IDW coming, I was like, hey, can we use Batman and Ninja Turtles? Sure.
yeah. Why not?
There must have been like the representatives were just at Comic-Con. They like went to the snack bar and said hi to each other.
I
Like,
hope that's
hey, you
how it
know, we
works.
should. It might be.
That's
like,
probably-
it's such an odd because now the Green Lantern Star Trek thing is just like we have these two comic book companies. Which ones can we cross over that makes like a little bit of sense?
I've been reading reviews for that Green Lantern Star Trek, and they say it's good. They said it makes sense.
Well, yeah, there was like space-based, cosmic type stuff, and then the Ninja Turtles Batman are based in like
streets.
They're both fighting ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were joking last week about like the Foot
Foot Clan and
teams
the
up
League of
with the
Shadows.
League of Shadows because they're both like ninja
That would be
clans.
amazing. See, there you go. Writes itself.
Shadow of the Foot.
Ra's al
God,
Ghul and
damn it. I
Shredder
just wanna read
teaming
that.
up.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But yeah, too, like, obviously I've been coming in to get my comics less, so I'm, like, a little bummed that, like, oh, I got this other one that I have to get, but I have less money to get it.
It's going to be a mini-series. You'll be fine.
I mean, you can also probably skip it because it's not official like Ninja Turtles canon. Because the official Ninja Turtles canon is Ninja Turtles 2, where we learned this week that Casey's not gonna really be Casey. Like he's got a whole new origin story that they're gonna make up for you.
Wait, what?
Yeah. For the next one, Casey Jones
it's
is
the
in there.
most-
There's a picture of him.
It's the most basic origin story yet, also.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah.
no sense.
No, they're
Actually,
yeah,
it makes way
he's-
too much sense.
Okay,
Yeah,
what's
because they're
going
like,
on?
well, this is earlier in his life, so he's not a guy with like a job who likes hockey yet. Like, they got to make up a new origin for this dude who likes hockey.
He probably shoots arrows.
That'd be awesome.
From what I read, they said he tries to go through the appropriate channels to get something taken care of. Like he sees a crime and goes to the cops, and then the cops won't do anything about it, and he just happens to be playing hockey, so he decides to go fight dudes, and that's his new origin story.
I mean, in the original comics, like, he's just kind of sitting around watching TV and getting all upset about, like, the expansive crime in the city, so it's a little similar, but if he just happens to be playing hockey when he starts his first fight,
I read it
That's
like
a
a week
little-
ago, but I'm pretty sure that's what I
pretty
read.
lame.
Here's what I think is actually like at the root really funny about this, and the reason I bring it up because I really like bringing up Ninja Turtle stuff just to jab you. But the
With his dick.
whoa, hey now.
Sorry, Carol.
I was just gonna say my mom's listening. No, it's that he has a really simple origin, like Andrew says. Like it's not that complicated, but they went to great lengths to get out there and say, "Hey fans, we're gonna change this, and you're not gonna like it. We're intentionally like they wanted to make news of the fact that like, hey, fuck you." Like, really, we don't care about you. Like, they really want you to know that, Brad. I just
Okay.
wanted,
Well.
I wanted you to know.
Well, he already knew that because they made Ninja Turtles the first movie.
I
Oh,
know.
gosh.
they
It's
already
just-
destroyed my love. It shows with that one.
I still
It's
haven't
so
seen
dumb.
that.
Huh.
It's
Should I
not-
go
it's
see
not
it?
great. No.
I know it's going to be terrible, but should I still see it?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to,
I'm Leonardo, and I'm the leader of the
just to
Turtles.
understand
Wow, wow, wow.
how far they fell.
It's got Johnny
That
Knoxville
one.
in it. Do you like Johnny Knoxville?
Oh, no.
All right. We're going to get a free version of Hulu in the fall, so look out for that. Maybe someone will start using Hulu again. At the same time, Netflix is going to raise its prices. Have they said how much yet? Actually, I got to look at this. Did they say?
I mean, all their content, they're so good right now.
Yeah,
Hey,
I checked my
hey.
account to see like what the plans were at this point because I've been doing the $7.99 unlimited forever. There's actually like it's $7.99 for standard definition and then $7.99 for standard plus HD. Like, why even have the standard definition?
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, so that's the difference. Is it's just going to go up like $1. And I think it defines how many people can be logged in at the same time.
Oh yeah, you get two
Yeah.
accounts on each of them.
Right, exactly. So it's going up like $1.
Really quick,
But they haven't raised their prices in years, so I'm not that
since we're
worried.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Daredevil. Everybody seen it yet?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. And we all loved it.
Oh,
Brad
yeah.
didn't.
You didn't love it?
I did love it. I just took issue with the last four episodes where the narrative is the same bullshit. Like,
He didn't like Foggy. He thinks Foggy's an annoying character.
I said I didn't like Foggy for a couple episodes because he just bitches about Daredevil not telling him he's Daredevil.
That's true. I mean, it's not that in depth of a plot. Like, it's not.
Like after the halfway point,
Yeah.
it's, Kingpin, they're all just reiterating the same
I
philosophy.
agree
just to pad time.
with that, but
No, you don't.
I think I kind of do. Like, I'm gonna watch it again, and when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will buy it. Like, I don't do. Does Netflix release
Yeah,
their stuff
yeah,
on
they're
Blu-ray?
big
Yeah, they do.
does.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. And I this is actually the first one where I think I'll do the exact same thing because I want to have it in like on
Yeah.
Blu-ray in high definition, like because it's just gorgeous.
Not
It's so
pixelating
good.
every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Because
you
it
know
streams.
exactly. Yeah.
And you probably went over this also, but the Gas Punisher and Elektra. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
Hopefully,
Walking Dead guy. Punisher.
I'll be honest. There's a part of me that's a little concerned because like part of what's really fun about the original, like that first season, is how how much they distance themselves from like comic booky stuff. That the idea that they're going to introduce Punisher, I'm fine with. He fits into the universe that they've created. But Elektra is getting to a place where it depends on how they do it, right? If within a few episodes she's like, also I have magic powers and I'm weird and I'm gonna die and stuff like that. Like that's where they're gonna take it a little too far for me. But
I think knowing that they'll probably get a third season, I think they'll stay away from that.
Yeah.
Like, it would be super, super weird if, they killed her in the second episode and then brought her back.
Yeah.
And like, oh, it's mystic magic powers.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they also kind of set up mystic magic powers in the entire first season, too. Like, there's a lot of Iron Fist, like, lure references in that.
Yeah.
So.
But that's also, I mean, I guess because they're doing Iron Fist as well, like, that makes some sense. So.
But they're still setting it up. I mean, I think Andrew's right. I mean, it's still part of the proper Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And they
mention the Avengers and stuff in Daredevil as well.
Yeah. And they should start to introduce that stuff. I'm just, the first season is so good that it makes me nervous because I'm like, oh man, like I'm afraid that part of what I love is the fact that they stay away from that. So, we'll see.
That makes sense. And that'll probably also come back around to later in the show also.
Maybe.
I was glad the Punisher is going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, I think before they even made that show, I think everybody wanted to see, one episode with the Punisher as a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact that they're going to not the fact, we don't know yet, but that he's probably going to have a pretty long arc in this as the villain of the season.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be pretty cool.
I think it's going to be awesome.
As long as they fight Ghost Rider. They should team up to fight Ghost Rider.
Oh, dude, if they got...
that would be the best.
All right, if they started... Ghost Rider, suddenly I'm okay
so
with.
now magic's okay?
Yeah, no, I know, it's weird.
The flaming skull is cool.
But because, like, Ghost Rider's been so bad that there's this part of me that would be excited for now that Marvel has it back to be like, we're going to do this right. And, like...
Yeah. How do you make Ghost Rider right, though?
I don't know. That's why I'm excited. I didn't give a shit about Daredevil.
What you need to do is hire James Wan to do Ghost Rider, and because he did Fast and Furious, he does horror movies.
Yeah.
So you hire him to do it and make it like a demonic movie. That'd be awesome. Make it rated R.
Isn't he doing a DC movie though?
Yeah, he's doing something. Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing Aquaman.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aquaman's so cool.
Right.
I had that conversation with Andrew last week.
As long as Aquaman jumps through 2 buildings, in a crazy car,
I'd be okay with that. I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Very last thing that I have, which probably means that I missed some stuff, but there's a trailer that came out for the Red Dragon story that's in Hannibal for the rest of this season, and it looks amazing. I'm behind on the show, but this trailer is so good that I need to catch up. It makes, as much as I like the movie Red Dragon, I think it's actually one of Brett Ratner's best movies. This looks really good.
That's saying a lot too. Brett Ratner's put out some great stuff.
Okay, you're right.
Have you seen Hercules? I'm going to watch it again for my comic book movie binge.
Oh man, why?
Because it's comic book. It's based on a graphic novel.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Surprised you knew that.
No, I didn't. It looks really good though, so people should go check out that trailer for the rest of the season of Hannibal, the last season of Hannibal.
No.
So depressing.
Yeah.
James.
I'm just happy that they at least are getting the Tooth Fairy in there because this looks awesome.
And think of it this way too. They'll have 36 high quality episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. When they canceled it's what I said. That show never should have gotten a season 1. It certainly never should have gotten 3 seasons because it shouldn't be on television, and it's amazing. So, cool. Did I miss anything?
I don't remember.
All right. Cool. That's news.
This is the stuff we watched this week.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
The Exorcist, I've seen it 186 times, and it keeps getting funnier every time I see it. We're starting to changing our interstitials to be movie quotes, and for what we've been watching, I want it to be that quote from Beetlejuice, the only funny part in Beetlejuice. I haven't seen Beetlejuice in years, but I know he's only in the movie for like 6 minutes.
It's true.
And he's really good in it. Mm-hmm. When he's like, nice fucking model. What'd you watch this week, sir?
I didn't watch that much stuff. What did I watch last night? House of the Devil. Have you guys seen that?
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
It was pretty good. It was about what I thought it was going to be.
Ty West is a cool director.
Yeah.
You mean a horror movie?
Well,
Yeah.
that.
It's more suspense.
It is,
Yeah.
it's very...
I say
It's
it's very
almost-
70s-ish.
Exactly. Like, I think
Slow burn.
it's a love letter to Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I expected it to be, and that's exactly what it was.
I think the most shocking part is when that one girl's in her car and the
That was-
her
yeah.
window gets
Yeah.
That's pretty
smashed
great.
in. Yeah. But other than that, it's pretty tame.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really slow building. It's kind of one of those ones where it relies on atmosphere a lot.
Right.
But I think I really like Ty West.
Yeah.
So I really like that movie.
I liked it. I probably won't watch it again, but it was good. It was good for one watch.
You know what's cool when it came out? You could get it on VHS. Like they had a VHS bundle.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. And that's honestly, I think that's all I watched.
So House of the Devil, watch it one time and then fuck it.
Yeah, and then and you know what? Just fast forward to the end. You'll be fine.
And then go watch The Innkeepers.
Yeah, watch The Innkeepers. That's his other one. It's really good.
Is that good?
That one's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that one.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen it yet.
I can let you, I
It's
have
like
it on
it's
Blu-ray
like Clerks in a
format.
Hotel though.
Do you think you'd watch it more than once?
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times. I watch it because I like commentaries and stuff. I don't know if you care about that stuff. But yeah, it moves faster than House of the Devil. I think that one's pretty good. That one's good.
There you go, Andrew. Raved reviews. Innkeepers, he'd watch it more than once.
Yes.
I'd hope so. He has it on Blu-ray.
Brad, what'd you watch this week? Oh, fuck. He has another list.
Anytime that he has to turn his phone on.
No, I just can't remember.
Oh,
So
okay.
I wrote it down.
He has been
I
up
watched-
a lot lately. You know,
What?
You've been up lately.
I'm
And
doing a lot of stuff. I
Photography.
watched while I was working. I threw Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on in the background. First time I've ever seen it, and it's silly out there. Very odd that like one of their like they'll call someone a fag and then do the air guitar.
like, it's cool.
Yeah, like it's cool. Like it's just a casual. Yeah.
And I didn't, because I noticed in movies from that time, they do say that a lot, and I never knew it was like a casual thing to make fun of somebody for.
Yeah.
It's like a derogatory term.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah, definitely. Yeah, the premise is Bill and Ted get killed by their robot counterparts, and their robot counterparts just make them look bad while they're running around the afterlife trying to figure out how to come back to the real world. And then William Sadler, who's like the villain from Die Hard, is Death, the Grim Reaper, which I didn't know until now. I thought it was funny just because, you know, he's like this goofy Grim Reaper guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just silly. And
Are
then,
you clamoring for the third one?
not really. I mean, the first one's
Alex Winter
funny
really
and all.
wants it to happen.
Yeah.
Get it because he doesn't do anything else?
He directs that stuff,
It's
actually.
like Dan Aykroyd with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a filmmaker now, I think.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd's making like vodka or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He makes that skull head.
Yeah,
vodka
the skull stuff. Yeah. He's really into crystal skulls.
But yeah, like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I think is a funny movie, but it's never like been near and dear to my heart. So like a third one, I'm like
Yeah, I
whatever.
think they're just silly. Like, I don't think they're cinematic. I've
Yeah.
never said, man, they should make a third one of this. They don't say dude enough.
Oh, and then what's his name? George Carlin. Like
Yeah.
he's part of the charm of it, and
Yeah.
obviously he won't be around for the third one. So
What?
Why?
oh, by the way, James.
Hey, you know what we should do for George Carlin? We should play that scene from Jay and Silent Bob where he talks about giving head.
Okay.
These are the rules of the road.
This sucks balls, man. How come we ain't getting no rides?
'Cause you're doing it all wrong. You gotta give the driver a little incentive.
Like how?
Like this.
Yeah, but what happens when they pick you up and you don't make with the head? Don't they kick your ass to the curb?
Sure, if you don't make with the head. Yeah. Hey, if it'll get me a couple of 100 miles across the country, I'll take a shot in the mount.
Yeah, but we ain't gay.
Don't be so suburban. It's the new millennium. Gay, straight, it's all the same now. There are no more lines.
Well, there's a line, and on this side of it, we ain't gay.
Hey, all the hitches do this. Why do you think people pick us up? If you get a ride, it's expected. I don't care who the driver is. It's the first rule in the book.
What book?
The unwritten book of the road.
You did pretty good with the Magnolia one.
I did, but it took me a long time to
It
find
was
it.
so long.
It was great.
All right, hold on.
I almost cried listening to it again. It was like, you fucking piece of shit. Why do you need it to? You already have a long break. What do you need another one for?
No, it's because you want me to come back and have us have a conversation about something that isn't in the show. Anyway,
So?
whatever.
Why does it matter? What are you, like a professional? Fuck this guy.
I wanted to make
Okay,
sense.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Speaking of George Carlin, and I forgot to write it down, is I've been trying to watch Jersey Girl.
Yeah. You don't like it?
Is there a problem? Are you having
It's
a-
all right. Like, it's not as terrible as, you know, even Kevin Smith makes it out to be sometimes.
I haven't
But
seen it in years. I don't remember.
yeah, it's just bland. Like, the last time I really saw it was in the theater with you.
Mm-hmm.
We were just kind of sitting through the whole movie waiting for Jane and Silent Bob to show up in some
Right.
capacity. But yeah, it's just bland.
I know we always make fun of the DVD art because it was like Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler kissing on the front, and it's like a new movie from Kevin Smith. He's like in the corner waving.
Yeah. Just because you'll have no interest in this movie otherwise.
Yeah. Remember Jane and Silent Bob? They're not in this movie or as dick jokes.
Right.
Yeah, but on Netflix, I'd play it and then fall asleep like quickly, like 30 minutes into it, and then try again, another 30 minutes, and then
I
finally.
just really want to see J-Lo die over and over again.
It's true. Yeah, that's the best part for sure. Yeah, and then it's weird, like between the Sweeney Todd thing at the end, the musical, like their version of it, and then there's the one in The Office that Andy does, and then there's the actual Johnny Depp Sweeney Todd.
Oh yeah,
Like there's a lot of Sweeney Todd.
it's a very
like,
very
referenced.
infamous musical.
Yeah, which I don't think is that great a musical. But
I know.
I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. It's really good.
yeah,
I like it.
he just runs around like cutting throats and making pies out of people. Like,
Yeah.
where's the?
Yeah, that's when Tim Burton actually tries though. He's not trying to sell Hot Topic T-shirts.
And then the last thing I saw with Henry Jarvis was Terminator 2: Shocking Dark.
Wow.
Yeah,
How is it?
it's good if you don't have assholes distracting you the whole time.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Actually, it's not that good. It's really, it's like a shitty Aliens knockoff.
Yeah.
And really the only Terminator-y parts of it are like, you know how in each Alien movie they seem to want to regurgitate the surprise that one of them's an android.
Yeah.
Well, except one of them's a cyborg, and it's the Terminator. You know, it's
Okay.
the Arnold-style Terminator.
So tell me the difference between android and cyborg.
An android is all like robotic parts. A cyborg has like flesh and blood integrated into it.
So technically a Terminator is a cyborg because it has flesh.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think cyborg, like when I think of a cyborg, I really think of like it's a person to start with. Like it really is like it's got a person's brain, but it, like RoboCop is a cyborg. Like it's a dude's brain inside of a robot. Like that's a cyborg.
Data's an android.
Data is an android because there's no
Gotcha.
It's all synthetic.
humanity to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or like the aliens or the robots and aliens are cyborgs. 'Cause,
But a
like,
cyborg doesn't have to be a person though. It could be like a dog with like organic
Sure.
parts to it too.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know Lucasfilm owns the name Android? Just putting it out there.
well, droid.
Yeah, droid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Droid is his. Android is before him.
He still loves it though.
Yeah,
Him and his
well-
turkey neck.
It's like getting all that Android cell phone money because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it for me.
Oh, okay.
James?
Just a couple of things. Like I mentioned before, I'm not finished, but I'm watching through the road cut of X-Men because it's 2.5 hours long.
I know,
So
I haven't watched it yet.
I've watched like a good chunk of the part with Rogue, and like, hey, guess what? Rogue's in that movie now. There's a lot of little bits that are added
That's
to
what
it
I
as
heard.
well, and
Like,
those are actually really good.
I have it chilling on my shelf because I really liked like the DVD artwork for it.
Yeah.
But I read that it's just a bunch of extended scenes. Like
Yeah.
each scene's just a little longer.
Yeah, and there is a subplot with Rogue, and they have to go get Rogue, and it's like a few minutes. Like it's not huge. I think there may be some payoff later on because there are some things that are very different because of that. I don't want to give it away too much, but like clearly they must have done some pickups because there's things that happen to characters where you're like, well, wait, in the original theatrical cut, like that would be a huge difference. So I'm sort of excited to see how that part ends. But the other thing is I rewatched The Book of Eli this week for the first time in a few years, it's a Gary Whitta script from the Hughes brothers with Denzel Washington, and that movie's really good. Has anybody else seen that movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, that movie's really underrated. Like, it's a solid post-apocalyptic movie with a cool plot to it that is it's tight, it has a point, it's A to B to C fairly efficiently. Denzel Washington is awesome. I think Ryan, you haven't seen it?
I have seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the twist that ends up in that movie is...
Don't you remember, like 6 months ago, you yelled at me on the podcast because I spoiled the twist?
Oh, that may sound familiar. Yeah, it's
No,
an interesting...
I remember it.
Okay.
You might not. I do. Because I went home and cried. I was like, dude, that movie's like 8 years old.
Hey, 5. It's only 5 years old.
Is it? Man.
Yeah.
Only
yeah.
5?
Yeah, it's 2010.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the twist is one where if you say it out loud, it sounds like it would be really dumb, but I think they actually do a really decent job of handling it in the because even as I was watching it this time, because I kind of remembered like having a few reservations about it after the first time I saw it, and so as I'm watching the end and they're getting right up to the point where they're going to reveal it, I'm like, well, wait a second, like, why isn't this character doing this in order, like, if he did this now, we'd already know this reveal. And then there are a lot of, like, they explain away a lot of those things where you're like, well, wait, why doesn't he open the book now? If he opened the book now, we would know what was going on. And then you're like, oh, well, the book is actually locked, and I didn't realize that. And, like, you know.
So are you saying that it's better watching it again knowing what, like, the revelation is in it?
I don't know. Actually, I feel like I was distracted this time because I knew the revelation, and I was like, it had been so long that I was trying to, like, to piece it apart.
Revelation?
No.
It's all gaudy and preachy.
But it's not that preachy. It's not.
It's so easy.
It's like, it's just not. It's, like, yes, it is very gaudy, but it is not.
That's why James loves it.
It is, yeah.
When we were at the Driven premiere and the guy sat down, he was talking about the Gospel of Stevenson, which is this vampire movie where he's talking about turning people, it's like a cult, and it deals with religion. James is like, huh?
Because that is actually really fast. And even watching that trailer, I was like, that's a cool idea for a movie where it's, you know, it's like True Blood, only instead of being like he's coming out into the open and revealing like, hey, I can give everybody eternal life. Who wants on the vampire train?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Denzel Washington's really cool.
He was doing like the Liam Neeson before Liam Neeson was, you know, reinventing himself as an action star.
Yeah. Mia Kunis is really good in that. Gary Oldman. So yeah, people should check it out. I actually as soon as I was done, I was like, I have to take this to my folks because I don't know why I never had them watch it, but it's a cool movie. So I didn't even check to see if it's on Netflix because I own it, but if it is, people should go see it. And then the very last thing is I went and saw Trainwreck last night.
Nice.
Which Ryan, you've seen Trainwreck.
I did see Trainwreck.
Did
this
anybody
week.
else see Trainwreck? Are we just going to talk about it in what we've been watching?
Yeah, that's fine because I mean we're not going to do a review for it, right?
Right. So we'll just transition into yours.
Cool.
And so I went and saw it last night at the Alamo. I think it's really funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
I think I was actually shocked. It's more rom-com than I thought it was going to be.
Totally.
Because Amy Schumer, I actually think she's really funny, and I think her show's pretty funny. But she plays it pretty straight as a romantic comedy, and I think maybe that's why it worked, because I think everybody was expecting her to be really goofy and out there, but she played it pretty straight, except the role reversal where she's the one who's the problem, and it's not really the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I think that it's really funny. I laughed a lot, really hard through the whole movie. People should go see this if you like this kind of movie, for sure. I'm going to say a couple of things that are problems that I have with it, or just like concerns that I have, but they are not anything against the movie. The movie's really solid. Okay. I do think if you take out all the parts that are funny, it is a very simple story.
Yeah.
It is that same story you've seen a bunch of times, just reversed, basically. Which you could say of a lot of movies, right? Like, this is a movie where the comedy makes it.
If they didn't make Amy Schumer and she wasn't dirty in it, it'd just be a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
One of those unfunny ones.
Yeah. And so that's why I got distracted a couple times in the movie, because I don't really care for, I don't follow Amy Schumer, is the way I should say it. So I went and saw this movie because I really love Judd Apatow movies. And for me, there are probably 50 other directors in Hollywood who could have made this movie and could have made it just as good. Like, my problem is that I don't even know that it's that he didn't love this movie. I think he probably really likes this movie and is really proud of what he made. It's not the movie I wanted from him.
Well, I can tell you a backstory behind it. Is he wanted Amy Schumer to write a movie, and he said he would direct it so it'd be made.
Oh, okay.
So he did it so she could make a movie.
Oh, okay. Well, then, cool.
That sounds bad. She probably could have done it anyways, but she wasn't as a hot commodity last year.
Yeah.
So if Judd Apatow, who's made great movies, says, "Hey, I want to make this movie," and we've already written the script, then
It's gonna get made.
It's going to get made.
Yeah. And so that is sort of my problem, is that like in the pantheon of Judd Apatow movies, for me, this is the weakest one, just because it is.
Yeah, and it's not really a Judd Apatow movie, though.
Well, yeah, this feels like a movie produced by Judd Apatow,
Yeah.
not a Judd Apatow.
Yeah,
film.
no,
the fact that he
exactly.
didn't write it, what it makes me realize, I guess, is that I don't care about him as a director. I care about him as a writer, and that's what I guess I didn't know that until this movie. It's kind of like going and seeing Cop Out. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you did fine. It's a fine movie. I enjoyed myself. Please don't do this again. Like, it's not.
I don't know. I mean, I'll highlight some things. There's one part that made me really uncomfortable when Amy does like the walk of shame, and my wife had this laugh like she's done it before. You know, it is a really uncomfortable. But besides that, I think she's actually really good. I didn't know she's such a great actress. I think Colin Quinn as her father was great in it.
Yeah. That whole storyline is really good.
And LeBron James was funny. I didn't think he could be funny, but you know, sometimes when you put athletes in stuff, they're just awful. Dan Marino and Ace Ventura.
John Cena is hilarious.
Oh, John Cena's great.
Oh my
I just love it because he's this gay guy who doesn't know he's gay, so he always says he's really weird gay stuff. So they're talking dirty while they're having sex, and he says like these really stupid things.
There's no I in team.
Yeah, then when he
But
starts,
there's an I in win.
yeah, when he starts getting into it, he's talking about how he's working out with all the guys at the gym. It's really funny.
Well, but that ties in. I don't even know that it's that he's, because they don't get real specific and say that he's gay and doesn't know it.
No.
Because he's.
But remember in the movie theater though, he's saying all those gay things. To that
but
one guy.
he says
I will
things
punch
that
you so
that
hard
doesn't
you'll
know.
fill it in your dick hole.
Because I feel like the scene where the two of them break up is one of the most honest scenes.
Oh yeah,
in the movie.
no. Oh, it's great.
It's really good.
He's like, "You're
and
an asshole."
I think he fits into that whole like role reversal part of the movie, because LeBron James does the same thing.
Yeah.
Where, like he's got, yeah, you're right. John Cena has these lines where it's like, he talks about the fact that he and all of the other guys he works out with like talk about their relationships when they're at the gym
Yeah.
and like how they feel and all this stuff, and you're like, that's, you know, clearly what would obviously be on the female spectrum in any other horrible movie. So yeah, I don't know that it's that he's gay. It's just like, it's just she takes all those roles and gives it to him. But that scene in the theater is, and all improv.
I look like Mark Wahlberg. 8 Mark Wahlberg, asshole.
All of those lines in that movie theater are all just John Cena improving. Like
Really?
he's genuinely
That's
really
pretty
funny.
good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a whole featurette online that.
Well, you have to be good to be in sports entertainment.
Well, here actually, I'm just gonna play it because I think this is hilarious. So hold on.
Amy,
What's up?
is that wine in the box?
We had this idea that Amy would have a boyfriend, and we thought, what kind of boyfriend can she be awful to where the audience won't be very mad at Amy? So we thought, well, maybe he's just in incredible shape.
Yeah, John Cena. He blew our minds.
Wonderful film.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg, shut up.
Mark Wahlberg? Mark Wahlberg's like 150 pounds. I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg. When we did the theater scene, all that improv stuff, it was a lot of fun. I will get crazy up in here. You like movies? We'll make a movie.
Oh, God.
We'll make Mama Say Knock You Out.
He said some of the strangest things I've ever heard.
That's right, Martin Lawrence. I'm on that drank right now.
Oh, really? That's what
Believe it. I'm dangerous now.
I did not write most of his lines.
I will make your world horrible. You understand? You like jokes? You funny man, comedian?
He just would open his mouth and it would fly out.
See, I'm an easy target because I'm big. Yeah, that's right. Walk around, I'm an easy target. Everybody wants to shoot all over me. That's fine.
And I'm like, what?
I have to be loud. If I'm loud, they'll think I can actually fight. You know that I'm a horrible fighter. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. I don't want to get in a fight with this guy. Maybe a rapper or something.
You didn't call me no damn
He
rapper.
did call you a rapper.
So, if you want to see a funny R-rated comedy with some moments that you would never expect, just go see this movie. We can just silence the violence. Watch the movie, okay?
Silence of violence.
This is a Public Enemy reference.
No. A Public Enemy reference would be, you want to find out if 911 is a joke? Because we can take it straight to the Terror Dome. All right? I bought Fight the Power.
Oh, this son of a bitch
I watch
is doing...
Spike Lee movies.
He's doing quotes, movie quotes.
Don't. Okay?
Do the right thing.
Let's do the right thing.
Yeah, so it's just like the fact that he can just sit there and off the cuff like say all of that. I think it's hilarious.
Well, I
He's
tell
really
everybody, it's hard to be in the WWE, like going out there and being able to cut promos off the top of your head. Why do you think The Rock's such a great actor?
Yeah.
Because he's able to do it too.
Yeah, I would love to see John Cena start to do that and be in more movies than just like The Marine.
Oh, that's right. He was in that.
Oh, yeah, he's been an actor for a long time.
Yeah.
He's just never been The Rock.
No, he's not as charismatic as The Rock. I don't think he can carry a movie.
No,
Like The
but
Rock
he
can.
could
You've
be.
seen his fucking guns.
He could be a dude in a like Expendables movie,
Oh,
and
he
I think
could
he'd be
yeah.
fine. Like
He could be like in a Predator movie.
yeah, oh totally, yeah. He just couldn't be. He couldn't be Arnold Schwarzenegger's
No,
character.
exactly.
He could be the other dude who gets killed like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
He's already had a bunch of movies. Remember,
The Marine 2? Yeah.
or
16 rounds?
oh yeah, The Marine. That's what I thought. I had another title in
16
my head.
rounds, that's right.
Yeah, 16
Yeah.
rounds. Yeah.
I know a lot about John Cena
You
movies I've
do.
never seen.
Are you a John Cena fan?
Nope.
You can't see me?
Oh.
So yeah, I think Trainwreck was fun.
Yeah, I do too. I think people should go to see
Yeah,
it. I think
absolutely.
It's really funny.
It's a fun movie.
I just really want Judd Apatow to go write another movie.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But anyway.
I watched a lot of things this week. I rewatched It Follows last night.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, looks amazing on Blu-ray.
I really want to see that.
It's a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies from the year because it has such a great sense of dread. And I think the way it's shot is really smart. And in fact, I picked up shots I didn't notice before. When the kid is driving past the prostitutes, if you look in the rearview mirror, he's being followed. Like the things behind
Really?
him. Yeah. And
the very contentious Real Nerds podcast scene of
Yes.
him driving.
But
by
no,
the
I mean,
hospital.
rewatching it, I agree with you.
Really?
The ending, yeah.
Oh wow.
So the only
For people who haven't heard that episode, what was your
Okay, so
thing?
I was of the opinion that he drives past the prostitutes and does not sleep with them, passing on the curse, and that the end of the movie is him at the very least knowingly being followed.
Yeah.
The question is, so for me, I end that movie saying one of them is being followed, they are in love, they both know one of them is being followed and will live the rest of their lives being followed, and okay with the fact that death is eventually going to catch them. Which to me is like this very like kind of heartwarming and uplifting. Like I think it's a horror movie that ends with a like, hey, you're gonna die and it's okay. Like it's okay.
I always wondered too when I was watching, I said, what if you got on a plane and like flew to, I don't know, fucking Ireland? How long would it take for that thing to get there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then we had this whole conversation.
But
in the episode.
I guess it might be able to.
When you first saw it, you read it, and I don't think either of these is wrong.
No, I read it that he did, and it killed them so fast that it caught up to him.
That scene was it getting back to him.
But when I rewatched it and I saw the thing in the rearview mirror, I'm like, he did. He just kept on going because he realized he could never get away from it,
Right.
and that's why that film is so smart.
Well, either that or that he drives up there and there's this choice he has where he's like, I can pass this thing on. I can have sex with a prostitute and pass this on to them, not only cursing them, but doing something that I wouldn't otherwise do. Like being a person I didn't intend on being because of this curse.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can not and be okay with where I am. And so for me, that's the choice he
and
makes.
it makes sense too because the director does a lot of shots of that boy longing to be with that girl.
Yeah.
And I think he made that choice that he said, you know what, I want to be with her, and I think it's a way of him protecting her that he always has to be around because
I like that.
if he's around, then and he dies, then
Yeah.
you know.
Because what they never answer in the movie is like, if they're together and he has sex with her, does it go back to her,
Yeah,
or
I don't
does
know
it
how
just
it
stay with
works.
him?
I don't know how
Because
it works.
I like that a lot. If it stays with him and he's just like, you know what, if it's following me, I know where it is and I can protect her.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, watch it again because he does a lot of like watching her and making sure she's okay. The only bummer is the Blu-ray only has this really small featurette on it.
Oh shoot.
And then it has, I haven't listened to the commentary yet, but it's not even with the director. It's hosted by Nerdist and a bunch of people, horror writers.
Huh.
I heard it's really good, but I would really like to hear what the director had to say. But,
Yeah.
But maybe he's doing it on purpose, and I respect that, like a Spielberg. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it looks great on Blu-ray, and the sound is amazing on Blu-ray.
Cool.
So definitely check it out. I went and saw Love and Mercy with my cousin Lisa, and Love and Mercy is the Brian Wilson biographical film. It stars Paul Dano as a young Brian Wilson, and he's amazing in the film. He really, really is good. John Cusack plays Brian Wilson in the 80s, and he's not as good as Paul Dano.
Aw.
Is
he not good, or is he not as good as Paul Dano?
Here's my problem with it.
Shoot.
Is Paul Dano, because if you don't know the story of Brian Wilson, is he's a musical genius, but he also suffers from schizophrenia and he hears voices in his head, but it was amplified when he started using drugs. So he started using drugs and kind of went crazy and
Tried to kill himself.
So he was basically just a shell of who he used to be. And the film is really interesting because it shows his relationship with his doctor and his entourage and how they were basically enabling him to be this way. They would overprescribe him drugs. And it's a really cute story because it opens with Paul Dano starting to figure out or Brian Wilson trying to figure out Pet Sounds, which is considered one of the greatest albums of all time. And then it cuts to 1980s with Brian Wilson trying to buy a Cadillac, and Elizabeth Banks, who's the best actor in this movie, she plays this girl named Melinda, and she's a Cadillac dealer. And Brian Wilson is all weird, and he's talking in this Cadillac, and she's a little scared of him at first, but then she starts to slowly start to like him, and she starts dating him. But he always has his entourage around her, and they're always pumping him full of drugs, and they're in charge of his money, and
is this Paul Dano, or is
this is John Cusack?
Okay.
So the Paul Dano part is shot like a documentary. Like they're showing you him recording Pet Sounds.
Oh, wow.
And his career through that. So then it flashes forward to John Cusack shot like a normal movie where he's just falling in love with this girl named Melinda. And it's just a really fascinating movie. The only bummer is it's kind of slow moving and it takes away. But it's one of those movies too that I love the Beach Boys songs. That as I'm watching the movie and they start playing Wouldn't It Be Nice and, you know, all that other stuff, you get really happy watching. Like, oh, I love this song. But Paul Dano is amazing in it. Just seeing him deteriorate, and it's really sad how Brian Wilson kind of deteriorated and how the other Beach Boys kind of got fed up with him because he had these ideas for making music, which are now considered, you know, innovative. And at the time they're saying, dude, why don't we just go do what we do? We sell millions of records by doing harmonies and singing about the songs. And he said, dude, surfers don't like our songs. So it's a really well-made film. I think you should see it. I don't think you have to rush out and see it. It's one you could probably rent. The performances are great. And I think Elizabeth Banks is the best in the movie. Just the little things she does. And Paul Giamatti plays his manager doctor, and he's like a scumbag and he's really scary in it, and he does a great job. You know, Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, I'd get it. Or if you're bored one afternoon, I'd go watch it. I think you'll be all right. Cool. I also saw Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, the Three Musketeers. Oh. It's a cute little cartoon. It's obviously not like in the upper echelon of Disney cartoons, but if you want to watch Mickey, Donald, and Goofy be the Three Musketeers and fight Peg Leg Pete, hey, you can do a lot worse. And I was actually reading that's the first time Pete had a peg leg since like the 30s. Like they got rid of his peg leg, and because they had this Blu-ray for the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy has more special features than it follows. I mean, it's Disney. I know they always put a lot of stuff on it, but still, I'm just saying that's what they did.
That potentially the best horror movie of the year, or maybe years, has a weaker than that's too bad.
Yeah, so that's what I watched.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. Andrew needs to kill himself a little bit, so we'll be back after these messages from the Real Nerds Podcast.
We don't have any messages.
And now a message from the Power Rangers.
Oh, man. See ya! Hey! No way, this is my ball. He's taking our ball! Triceratops! Saber-toothed tiger! Tyrannosaurus! Let's get him, team! Wow, Power Ranger!
You guys sure you want to start a fight?
We were just doing what the Power Rangers would do.
Not. There's never any question about the monsters you see on TV. But this isn't TV. It's real life. Just because you think someone's wrong doesn't mean you should attack them.
But he took our ball.
Do you mean like this ball?
Yeah! Hey, his ball looks like ours. Barry, sorry we ganged up on you like that. That's cool.
So that PSA totally reminded me. I did have one more movie, and I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And it's a horror film, and Scream Factory is so cool about putting out shit horror films.
Oh.
And it's called Cellar Dweller.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So in Cellar Dweller is about a comic book artist who is Jeffrey Combs. If you know who Jeffrey Combs is, he's in like Reanimator, and he's really goofy. The Frighteners for maybe a little more mainstream people.
I love The Frighteners.
Anyways, he's a comic book writer artist in the vein of like Tales from the Crypt or EC Comics. And this movie is only like 74 minutes long, so it's really short. And so at the beginning, he opens up this pentagram-shaped book, and in it has The Beast. And that's where he gets the inspiration for his new monster in his comic. So he draws The Beast. And when he draws The Beast, it comes to life.
You're saying it like that because of the What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah. Thank you for picking up my joke.
Yeah.
Anybody else there? Hello? Anyways, and that'll tie into what's coming out next week. So he draws it, and he's drawing the monster killing this lady with her shirt like open, like
Oh, is it the draw?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's such a cool poster.
So it's like the poster, but you actually see her tits.
Oh.
So he draws that, and he goes upstairs, and he comes back down, and the monster's there killing that chick that way. And he realizes that because he drew it, that's why the monster is alive. So he burns the papers that he drew the monster on, but by doing so, he catches on fire too and dies. So cut forward to like, I don't know, 30, 40 years later.
I thought maybe that was the whole movie.
No.
I was like, whoa.
That's like the 15-minute prologue. So cut to 30 years later, and now it's like a writer's artist retreat. And this girl now is a comic book artist, and she's drawing horror comics too. And the old lady, head of the art place, looks down on her because she draws comics. I don't know. The story's shit. Written by Don Mancini, who wrote Child's Play. Anyways, so she's there, and they won't let her in the cellar because that's where that one guy died in the fire. And they blamed him for like murdering the chick, whatever. So eventually she talks her way to being in the cellar, and guess what she finds, guys? The book with The Beast. And so she finds it, and she draws The Beast again, and he comes back and he starts eating people. But whatever she draws, like the people there are mean to her, so she would draw a comic page with the monster eating them, and so whatever she draws happens. And the monster looks like John Buechler did it, and he did Friday the 13th Part 7, Troll, a bunch of horror films. And the monster in it looks like a reject from his movie Troll. Have you ever seen Troll? Troll's a shit movie. But the movie's super gory, and it has lots of tits in it, and it's not good. But in a way, it has like the late 80s animatronic horror charm to it. So there's this one part where the monster is chasing this lady who's videotaping the girl. I don't know, like I said, but anyway, he's chasing this girl, and he chops off her head, and so you see him go roar, and then it cuts the head flying off, and then the next cut is him like eating her foot, and then he like eats everybody's foot in it. The monster does. So yeah.
Did you say he has a foot fetish?
Yes. So Cellar Dweller. I didn't watch the Catacombs, which is the second movie on there yet, but
I bet you're missing out on that one.
If it's anything like Cellar Dweller, I don't know. It had like an 80s charm to it. Yeah. It's not a great movie, but when I was a kid, I used to love it, and I don't know why. Maybe because it had tits in it, I'm guessing, and a monster eating feet. Yep, that's Cellar Dweller, guys. That's the movie I remembered. I forgot. And it's funny, too, because they always show this part where it's so hard to do visual stuff on a podcast. So, like, when you stand up and you're supposed to be imposing, you kind of, the last thing you bring up is, like, your chest, and it's, like, slow rising.
Yeah.
Every time the monster shows up on screen, that's what he does. But there's obviously not a very big budget for this film. And every time Buechler, who's not a good director, would shoot the monster, after he would look really big, he would be, like, as tall as the actors. So there's, like, a Rob Liefeld comic book.
Gotcha.
And there's no special features on it.
That's too bad, because I love the poster.
I know.
Yeah.
Catacombs does have a commentary.
Is there a magical treasure chest that
Yeah,
opens
that's what
up
the
and
book
like
was, bro.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay, cool, good. All right.
Duh. And it's funny too. They obviously had different people working on the comic book art, because sometimes it looked really great and then other times it looked horrible. And it was supposed to be like
It's supposed to be the same artist in the movie, but it's clearly not.
It's clearly not.
Yeah.
Like the monster looked great and then the people looked like shit.
Yeah.
And it had this really weird thing at the end.
Oh, so it's like Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, exactly. So it had this weird thing at the end where she realized if she drew the monster like being chained up, it'd be chained up, whatever. And all the monster killed, she drew again.
It took her the whole movie to figure that out.
And so they all come back and it has this really like corny music playing. And then she burns the page with a monster on it, but by doing so, she also burns all those people alive. So so that's the lesson of the movie. Yeah.
Why didn't she just draw the monster with like its head blown off or something?
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why she drew it chained up.
People are stupid in horror
Why
movies.
didn't she draw a book and trap the monster? Like, why did she draw the monster trapped in a book so that it would go back in the original book?
She's like a shitty Green Lantern.
Oh, you mean like Green Lantern?
All right, so yeah, that's what I watched. What's coming out on Blu-ray?
DVD releases and Blu-rays. This week is way cheaper than last week is, thankfully. So the first one, I'm not even kidding. The first one on the list is Kung Fu Killer, which is a Donnie Yen movie. I guess he's popular or something.
All right.
I don't know. So then we've got Madhouse with Vincent Price is getting a Blu-ray release this week, which has got Peter Cushing. It's an interesting trailer. It's just a lot of random shit thrown together on a horror trailer or on a horror poster. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just guessing by the name.
yeah, there's a skull, and the skull's got some blood and a spider on it, and then there's a dude with a candle, like, poking around a corner, like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, yeah, and then you got Vincent Price in the back, dressed up like a ghost or something. Anyway, Cemetery Without Crosses, which is an old-looking Western movie.
That's a cool title.
It is. It's a really cool title. I, Madman. I think this one a
Screen Factory. I have it coming.
Yeah.
It's like a pulp noir movie.
It's
that I've
pretty
never
cool.
seen.
Let's see. Spend the night with a madman is the tagline. There's also theirs is not a storybook romance, because it's this lady and she's in the library reading a book called I, Batman, and behind her is a madman with a syringe.
Oh no, it's Scream Factory, so I'll get it. Not to be confused with Madman, which is also an 80s slasher film.
Not to be confused with the comic book hero Madman. Sorry.
Or the AMC show Mad Men.
Ancient Aliens has a 7th season coming out this week.
That makes me
So
mad. They keep on releasing that, and they don't release American Pickers. Like, fuck. American
ridiculous.
Pickers is their most highly rated show on history.
But somehow they took the idea. So there was this one time where somebody got really, really high and thought, what if there were aliens around a long time ago? And they took that idea and made 7 seasons of bullshit about it.
I know. I can't stand that show because they'll always say, like, they'll have the pyramid, and they'll go, man, how did they build that pyramid? And then the narrator goes, was it aliens?
No! It wasn't aliens!
It was slaves, guys.
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
I actually really liked that back in
Actually, it was
college
the
just because
Minions,
that guy
wasn't
was
it?
so crazy.
I think it was the Minions.
Fuck you.
Wouldn't it be funny if they did release American Pickers on DVD and then, 30, 40 years from now, they're doing garage sales and stuff,
Someone's
someone's picking them out.
Well, here's the thing: is they do have like 4 volumes, but it's only like I have 2 of them because they were on sale on Amazon for like $3 each. But they only have like 4 episodes on each one.
Oh.
I don't want them to put them on fucking seasons.
Yeah, they need to put them out on DVD and then have a unskippable trailer for Ancient Aliens on the beginning of every episode.
With a dude with crazy hair.
Yeah. Boris Karloff's Black Sabbath is coming out this week.
Oh, fuck, that's Black Sunday, guys.
It's a really cool looking poster. Basically, you've got the Headless Horseman running by, and there are a bunch of busty ladies going, ah!
See, I like that stuff.
Yeah,
That's why
it's
I
a
got
really-
Vampire Lovers on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think he's also flying. It's a flying Headless Horseman. Like his
Sweet.
horse is just...
Why wouldn't he fly?
Look, there's even like a cloud just shooting out of the back. Like he's
Farting?
like rocket propelled. That's pretty good. House of 1,000 Dolls, which again is just some old.
Isn't What We
it's
Do in the
another
Shadows
Vincent
coming
Price
out?
movie. No, that's next week.
Oh, it's next
the
week?
after. Yeah.
Damn it.
House of 1,000 Dolls is also Vincent Price. I think this is just a movie where like some lady gets raped. Honestly, like that's what the poster looks like. Like there's Vincent
The
Price, and he's like,
rapiest movie of the year.
yeah, like there's a woman in a bikini, and then there's another woman getting attacked by two men, and she clearly doesn't want to go with them.
Last House on the Left was rapey.
Yeah.
Wait till you see Vincent Price in what's it called?
House of a Thousand Dolls. So actually, 1,000 women. Never mind. I don't even want to think about it. It sounds horrible now. I don't want to see that movie. I was gonna say what I do want to see.
You want to see this?
No, I don't want to see this. Kung Fu and Titties comes out this
That's
week.
a real name?
That's the real
I'm gonna
name.
fucking order that. Kung Fu and Titties. How much is it? Click
Kung
on the
Fu
link.
ampersand Titties. It's $19.95 on Amazon. Comes out July 21st.
Starring
It's,
Balky.
Balky from
Balky's in it.
Yeah. There's a guy in a gorilla costume, and he's got like a sexy lady with a hat on. Like maybe she flies a plane. So good for her. She's an educated woman. There's a guy who's flying through the air, and he can do kung fu, I guess, because he's got like a headband on. And then there's an American Indian.
That's a white guy dressed as an Indian.
Yeah,
it's a Puerto Rican.
He's got some sandals on. He bought.
I'm asking you how much it fucking costs.
$19.95. I already answered that question.
That's a ripoff.
Yeah, don't buy that.
And then he's got a woman with him as
But
well.
the name of the movie is literally Kung Fu and Titties.
Yep, the name of the movie in big racist block Asian letters is Kung Fu ampersand Titties.
Behind the scenes, Ryan is ordering it right
I know,
now
I'm
on his
looking it up
iPad.
right now.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm looking up on IMDb to see if it's subtitled under something else.
The
absurdist humor at its finest.
Yep, yeah, from horrornerd.net. So some horror fans saw this movie and thought, well, this isn't scary,
How
but
come we never get quoted for like
It's
DVD
abs-
packaging?
because we don't watch Kung Fu and Titties. If we started seeing Kung Fu and Titties before it came out, we would be on box art. That's all you have to do. So if you're out there and you have a movie called Kung Fu and Titties...
I just want to say when you type in Kung Fu and Titties on IMDb, it doesn't even pull up it on the search.
It's not real.
It doesn't know...
Oh,
the
but
movie
you actually
exists.
have to hit enter.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually 2013.
Well, it's finally getting... It's long-awaited DVD
it's 5
only.
point, so it has 1 point higher on it than League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
See? That means there's one star difference.
Kim Borg gave it a 9 out of 10 and says it's a fabulous American comedy.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Kim. Fuck you, Kim. Sorry.
I'm going to make sure it's rated R for nudity because I'm not going to get it if there's no
It's
tits
called
in it.
Kung Fu and Titties.
But there's also like, what's the old horror movie? It's like witchcraft. It's like Orgy of the Devil Woman. There's no nudity in it.
Well, I was gonna say if the movie's just called Witchcraft, Orgy of the Devil.
Do you want me to
Woman.
describe what it is to you?
Yes, desperately.
See, it's the dude's name is Titties. Richard's Titties is an out-of-shape martial arts wannabe.
Come on!
Is shot into an alternate dimension after his girlfriend Cynthia is kidnapped. His captors are a group of titty-obsessed madmen led by Zephros, the master of supernatural realms. Zephros kidnaps women for the sole purpose of seeing their titties.
Ryan's interested again.
And he's back.
That's
I
literally
think this
the
is based on
description
Ryan's
for this.
life, actually.
Richard joins up with his sister Rain Brown, a gorilla, and a gaggle of other strange characters in order to save his girlfriend. He must search inside, overcome his feudal martial arts skills, and find the kung fu fighter within if he is ever to save himself and all those dwell in the alternate world.
To be clear, based on the poster, it's not a gorilla; it's a man in a gorilla suit.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry, I have to check really fast just to see if there's a teaser trailer for this.
There
Oh
is.
my god! All right, everybody, hold on. Here we go.
In a world where one man must save one girl, I mean two girls, I mean a bunch of girls, from an evil, evil lord.
The chosen one has come after all these centuries. Right on! If it's a fight he wants, a fight he shall have!
What are you talking about?
Starring Rain Brown,
I'm an actress.
Sean Molnar,
My girlfriend is missing, and I'm probably gonna die.
Mike Marino,
You're not even getting better, you're getting worse!
Saragon Odassi,
Fine, I'll show you my tits. Just don't do that anymore.
John Archer Lundgren as Zefros with Bronson Pinchot. And Bronson Pinchot.
Ah, yeah.
You need to fight Zefros. I need to bring you to him.
You Americans are all the same. You're like an armpit without hair.
You're guaranteed to see titties in this movie.
I will possess them!
Zefros is whacked, man.
Yeah, slow down, tough guy.
You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. No, you're an idiot.
Someone come on!
If you don't see Kung Fu and titties, there's something seriously wrong with you. Kung Fu and titties, making the world a better place, one titty at a time.
In text
right.
on the screen. So there you go, Ryan. There will be boobs.
I'm not going to spend $20 on it.
Oh.
I hope I find it in the trash can.
Oh, man. Anyway, that's what's coming out, thankfully, on Blu-ray this week.
This week we went and saw Marvel's tiniest hero, Ant-Man.
Aw.
Who should I pick on? Andrew, should people go see Ant-Man?
Yes, definitely. Turn off the podcast right now. Go see the movie. Okay, yeah, go see it.
It's
Perfect.
sweet. I love it. James, should people go see Ant-Man?
Yeah, absolutely. Not my favorite Marvel movie, but it's still really fun.
Brad, should people go see Ant-Man?
Yeah, it's got a good sense of humor, and it's not the best Marvel movie, but it's fun.
Yeah, I thought this movie was tons of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick a heist movie to watch, it'd be this one. Because...
Out of all heist movies ever?
Why not?
Okay, sure. You can just say some bullshit that's not true, but okay.
Which one did you watch instead?
I don't know, like fucking Heat
Heat,
yeah, like...
You know what? Fucking Heat's overrated.
No, I'm just...
You're overrated.
This is the first one I thought of. Like, this isn't the best heist movie. Here, fine, Bank Job.
Heist.
I'm pandering to you.
I know, but I still think Ant-Man's a better movie.
All right. But a better heist movie? Never mind.
Anyways, Ant-Man's a sweet comic book heist movie where a dude can talk to ants. And, yeah, they did that in the movie. I every time... here's a trailer for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Imagine a soldier the size of an insect. The ultimate secret weapon.
If you give godlike powers to everyone, it's going to be chaos.
So how do we stop him?
By knowing I. Scott, I've been watching you for a while. You're different. And I believe everyone deserves a shot at redemption. Do you?
Absolutely. My days of breaking into places and stealing stuff are over. What do you want me to do?
I want you to break into a place and steal some stuff.
Makes sense.
Are you ready to become a hero?
Now, the suit has power. You have to learn how to control it. And these are your greatest allies.
You're kind of cute. Whoa.
When you're small, you have superhuman strength. You're like a bullet. So you need to know how to punch.
You want to show me how to punch? Show me how to punch.
That's how you punch.
You tried to hide your suit from me. Now, it's gonna blow up in your face and destroy everyone you care about.
Scott, get out of there!
Did you think you could stop the future? You're just a thief! No. I'm Ant-Man.
I know. It wasn't my idea.
Every time I watch this, I was like, there's no way he's going to talk to ants. Like, how are they going to pull this off in a fucking movie?
Oh, they haven't talked to ants, that's how.
Yeah, and then
they just do it.
The whole movie is him talking to ants. Him or Michael Douglas.
What was the name of the big one that got annihilated by a bullet?
Oh, that was so sad.
Anthony,
yeah. Spoilers. Also.
Yeah.
So
for the record, we are going to start spoiling this movie because there's some things that we have to talk about.
I guess we should explain the movie first before we start talking about it.
Yeah.
In the movie, Paul Rudd plays Scott Lang, who is a master
Anthony.
thief.
I just got it.
Anthony.
Oh my goodness.
We'll let that breathe a little bit.
Podcast over again.
I was sitting through the movie. Granted, I was like kind of nodding off because it was so late, but I was just like, what a generic name for a character in this movie.
So, Scott Lang is recruited by Hank Pym to be the Ant-Man, played by Michael Douglas, who's really great in the movie. And, and he needs them to steal the Yellow Jacket suit.
Well, the formula. So Hank Pym back in the 80s created the formula that makes you shrink and figured out how to let you do it with a person, with a living being. And then he decided that S.H.I.E.L.D. was dangerous and didn't want to give it to them.
Yeah.
And some other things
Peggy Carter
happened.
makes an appearance.
Yep.
I loved Agent Carter, by the way.
Yeah. And then he takes it away from them. Oh, and Tony Stark's dad is in there too.
Howard Stark.
Anyway, so then this guy ends up taking it and decides like, oh no, I'm gonna do this, and so he builds the suit. Like he figures out how to shrink stuff, but the important thing is figuring out how to shrink people. And Michael Douglas has tried to hide it from everybody, but
does anyone else think Michael Douglas has a cool voice?
Can we just cut to the chase, which is how fucking amazing is the first scene of this movie and young Michael Douglas?
Young
my
everybody.
Yeah. Like young that I just kept staring at it. Like every now and then I'd be like, okay, it's definitely that they're doing it CG, but I honestly
I didn't even until that scene ended, I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, there's Michael Douglas, and then when he walked away, I was like, that's young Michael Douglas. What the hell?
Yeah. No, yeah, like later in the movie you're like, man, his old person makeup is really good. Oh man, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was so good.
But the movie is really quick and really fun. I love Michael Pena's character in it. Michael Pena's
good.
always really good in movies.
Yeah.
I love when he's telling Scott about what is happening. He's like, so I was talking to my cousin, and he's like, yo, I know this fat fly person, and the movie's so clever that he's talking at the same way. I don't know. I just love that.
Yeah.
That feels like an Edgar Wright.
I was just going to say, I want to know that was one from his script because it feels like one of his
he's
characters.
still given writing credit and producer's credit on this.
And story credit.
Yeah.
He and Joe Cornish are still the only people credited on the story.
Which they should be. And Marvel didn't have to. I mean, they rewrote it, but.
Well, they rewrote the script, but the story is still credited to them. But, it is really interesting to see. I mean, he's still an executive producer on the movie. Yeah. I would love to get a real break. Honestly, what I would love is a DVD commentary with Edgar Wright.
That'd be cool.
Right? Like, I'd love to hear him talk about, like, well, I was going to do it this way and whatever, just because I want to know. Like, there's this alternate universe where that movie's out there, and maybe it's shit. Like, there's nothing, I'm not saying that it would be better, because I really like this movie. It's just so curious.
So, Andrew, why did you really like this film?
Everything. They pulled it off. Like, this was... Every time a new Marvel movie is about to come out, I'm always, like, questioning it and wondering, is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the misstep? And I think a lot of people thought Ant-Man was going to be a misstep. And they pulled it off. They did exactly what they've done with every Marvel movie. They made it fun, endearing. Like, it's pulled back from Marvel continuity just enough while still... I mean, it's pretty in your face, like, with everything that they've been doing in the Marvel movies. Like, it's a Marvel movie. There's references and characters that have been in these other movies, but it's really good at standing on its own. And I think Marvel, like we were talking about earlier, I think Marvel's really good at that.
Did you guys get the Spider-Man reference in it?
Is at the end, right?
Yeah. Michael Pena's explaining. He's like, they got guys who climb up the walls. I'm like, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that. Because I do feel like even when they do fit that stuff into the story, it is for a purpose. Like when Falcon's in the movie, maybe the scene is extra long because hey, we've got this character in here.
That was a good fight scene,
but
though.
Yeah,
it was really enjoyable.
It's a cool fight scene, and his reason for going is a farce. Like we need this thing,
right?
But it actually has an important plot element to the rest of the movie, where all of a sudden they're like, wait a second, there's this dangerous guy out there.
Right.
You know, it plays a purpose in the movie that, you know, I wasn't expecting a cameo to play.
Right. Yeah, because, you know, he was in a couple of the trailers for it.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like he's just going to like show up and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you have
He's walking
powers
by.
now." Yeah, but there's an actual reason that
Mhm.
they meet and fight, and
Yeah.
it's done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think, the coolest part about this movie was all the transitions and the fight scenes. I love the ones at the end where they're escaping, and he kept on going big and small while he's fighting the dudes with the guns, and he's like running up guns, and he'd get big and punch them, and
Mhm.
I think that's fucking badass.
Yeah.
I also think the scene leading up to the Falcon, where you know it's got the best joke. I know you guys. I don't know if you missed it or not, but he sees Falcon come down. He's like, "Hey, it's the Pelican," and he's like genuinely excited that he's seeing this hero that
I
exists
missed
in the
that.
world.
I didn't notice that, yeah.
It's just like super fast throwaway, but
That's
it's
funny.
amazing. And he's like, "Oh my god, I'm like in this hero world now, and I see this hero." And it's like if we saw Captain America walking down the street, we'd just
Yeah.
be like, "Holy shit, that's Captain America right there! What the hell is happening?"
Yeah.
And they play that off really well.
Yeah.
'Cause he's not the typical hero
Right.
in the movie. He has to become that. And
Well,
I think
yeah,
that's really interesting.
It's great too because Paul Rudd you wouldn't think of as being a superhero.
Right.
I mean, he's always like the funny guy, and I think he's really good in the movie. And I think him rewriting the script to tailor his sensibilities as an actor, I think was a smart idea.
Yeah.
Because the one scene I point to that is total Paul Rudd is at the end he's making out with Hope. And Michael Douglas opens the door and he says, "What's going on here?" He's like, "I don't know. She just started kissing me, man. Look, I like you, but I don't like." And he's just really good at that moment. I'm like,
Right.
that's Paul Rudd to me.
I thought you were going to say the scene where Hope and Hank are finally like Hank finally tells the story of what happens to the Wasp, and then he breaks in and is like, "Oh, I just totally ruined the moment."
Yeah,
Like, oh,
that's a great part too.
That felt like Paul Rudd.
That was an amazing scene also.
Yeah.
Like
And-
visually that
and-
was so cool.
Yeah.
What they do to Ant-Man and the Wasp here, I'm totally cool with. Like it, okay. Like if he can't hit his wife, you still found a way to make him both an asshole and somebody I like, which is what I wanted. You know?
Well, yeah.
Like
Well,
you.
I don't think you want him to hit his wife. I don't want him to.
But that's been part of his character
Yeah.
arc forever.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
put that anger in him, which I think works really well.
That's my
too.
point. I
Yeah.
like the idea that he's not necessarily the best. Like in this lineup of superheroes, we have one that's not really a great guy. Like he's not. Yeah, he's done superhero-y stuff and he's trying,
Yeah.
but he's not that great. And I like that aspect to it. You know, he's not. It's not as bad as hey, he hits his wife. Because if you made that movie, there needs to not be a villain in it. Like the villain is the fact
Yeah,
that,
then-
like,
then you are the villain.
Yeah, the villain is you hit your wife, and we need to have a 2-hour movie where we all sit and talk about why this isn't okay. You know, but I really like Hank Pym in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
No, and it's
cool.
I always love that these Marvel movies now are just being so legitimized because Michael Douglas is in a movie. I mean, you have all these actors that now want to be a part of it. It could be, selfish reasons that they say, "Oh, now I'll be in a movie that makes tons of money."
Sure.
But you also add weight to the screen, and
Al Pacino said he wants to do one.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants to do one, because it's like a John Travolta thing. Like, I bet we see Michael Douglas in another movie again. What has he done lately? Like,
Well, Jason Statham said he did not want to be in one.
Yeah, but Jason Statham makes some poor choices.
That is true.
You know, there you go, Ryan. You
Whatever.
used to say Jason Statham should never turn down a role.
he shouldn't. He did. I know.
Now he's
I'm telling
turning
you, he
down.
shouldn't.
I don't know that he would get offered one because he's never turned down a role before. He's done a lot of dumb movies.
His next
That's my
movie is
idea.
The Mechanic 2. It can't be that big.
Point made.
The first Mechanic's not bad.
Mechanic is decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just had fun watching the movie, because that's the thing I think Marvel has over DC. And I mean, even Ben Affleck alluded to it in an interview, is Marvel likes to have fun. DC seems like they don't want to have fun when they make movies. I don't know what character they could put to have fun in a movie. I don't know.
Aquaman.
not
They
make him
tried
look
with Green Lantern.
Oh, I guess they did.
They tried it with Green Lantern, and that guy jumped ship and came to Marvel to make a fun movie.
Yeah. They did. But yeah, it's interesting when you watch movies and that they're able to pull them off because you got the space opera in Guardians of the Galaxy. Now you have a heist movie in Ant-Man.
Well, I think they've figured out how to just lean into the weird stuff, especially here. Because it's a movie where a guy gets small. His power is to get tiny, which doesn't sound like it's worth much. And then he also can control ants because fuck it. So like, but they lean into it well enough that you're like, okay, like when they need to explain why he can control ants, it's just like, okay, you put on this hearing aid and you can control ants. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you don't need to give all
Let's
of the
start
science.
having ants in the movie.
But I think what's cool though is when I first saw Michael Douglas, I'm like, oh, he's old. He has a hearing aid.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then you realize he communicates
because he's listening to the ants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is I think people realize that now it doesn't. People just want good stories, and they don't care about the comic book stuff's fun. But if you tell a good story, it doesn't matter if they can talk to ants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're so concerned in like the early '90s and stuff that if you make comic movies too comic booky, then people won't like them. But I think now they realize, oh, there's good stories. That's all people care about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all people.
If you're
care
gonna
about.
make a comic book movie, make a comic book movie.
Exactly.
Don't make something that's not. Don't get rid of those elements that made it fun in the first place, because then you get a terrible movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't make your villain into a cloud.
Ugh.
Nobody wants that.
Twice.
But here, this is a place where I feel like the villain here is, the villain from the original Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like it's
oh my
it's
god,
the same,
exactly. He
Yeah.
does that whole like I'm gonna kill you now over and over again while they're fighting.
and it's not bad. I just don't care. Like
I think it's lazy.
yes, but they are working so hard on the characters that I end up not feeling like I'm getting gypped. Like I don't end up like, oh, I don't. It's that the villain part of the story doesn't matter to me. Like it's about him becoming a hero. That's what the part I care about, and what he has to overcome to do that isn't as I would love for the.
I
villain to
thought
be
the
more
guy was
interesting, but-
menacing. I mean,
I like
But
that
he's
actor a lot.
He's still
but
generic, though.
yeah. I mean, I don't think.
he's not as good as Obadiah Stane. Like that character, just because the actor there is of a higher caliber. But
But yeah, it's the same story. I'm going to take your technology. I'm going to make this thing that you made, and I'm going to use it for.
I think he's cool. He's cool in the scenes like when he breaks into the house and has the conversation with Hank. Like his relationship with Hank is really neat. Though I would say the same thing in Iron Man, because Obadiah has this really close relationship with
Tony.
Tony, yeah, and the same thing is sort of true here. Only here he's more of a reflection of
that too. That's the Marvel thing is most of their villains are connected to the heroes in some way,
right?
Where the DC ones are a little more unhinged.
Yeah, because the villain here is a physical manifestation of the dark side of Hank Pym, right? Like he's a more vicious version of honestly Hank's daughter, because Hank's daughter feels a lot of the same things that the guy does.
Yeah.
The only difference is that this guy is going to go make an evil suit that shoots lasers, and then he's going to like kill Scott's wife or Scott's daughter, which is weird.
But I like that Ant-Man killed him.
Yeah.
Like he made his like arm disappear. I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
At the end.
Did it feel more like an adventure movie than an action movie to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There are not. I would argue that there are hardly even like there aren't action set pieces.
No,
really.
it's all adventuring and like exploring this new world and kind of finding your way in it.
The closest they get to an action set piece is like the train, which is pretty short. It's almost as long in the trailer as it is in the movie. Like they land, they fight a little bit, and then the train falls over. And then they move on to the next little bit.
The whole last battle seemed really. I wasn't expecting the movie to be over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they do like the first fight scene, and then he gets hauled away, and he's like, "No, I got to go fight this guy."
Yeah.
And then you're right back to the fight, and then the movie's over. Like it's good pacing, but I wasn't expecting it because a lot of the times, you get that initial fight scene, and then there's another 20 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like
and
more
then the final fight scene.
It's more about catching the villain than it is about fighting the villain.
Right.
You know, whereas with a Hulk movie, you need the payoff of I need two big powerful guys to fight. These guys just get small. Like their power is they get small. So all they can do is get small and punch each other. So at a certain point, you're like, okay, punch each other a few times, and then we got to figure out how to like defeat him. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I had fun. Like I had tons of fun watching this movie, and it's really great in 3D.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, because the shots they do. I mean, the part where I was talking about, he runs up on the gun and starts running towards him. Like the gun, the way it's shot is like coming out of the screen.
Oh,
so
cool.
as Ant-Man's running across, he's like running away from you. It looks really good.
That's really
Cool.
Yeah.
It's, well, good thing they had enough time to convert it.
Yes. So yeah,
Evangeline Lilly's really good.
yeah,
I like
she's
really good.
She's really good. The scene you're talking about when Hank finally tells her what happened to her mom is like so heartbreaking. And then I was thinking the same thing, and she said it. Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then
the scene almost feels awkward.
Yeah, and his excuse is shit. But you understand his
Because
excuse
Hank Pym's
too.
not a great guy.
Yeah, I mean you understand his excuse.
Yeah.
But it's still you're like, dude, just tell her.
Yeah.
And it's his fault. His daughter doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And I think he realized that at that moment.
His fault that his wife doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Because he hits her.
I really
As
like
Goliath or Ant-Man?
I like that they not closed out, but they stopped her arc also, because at the end, like after the credits, all she wanted to do was become a hero. All she wants to do is become the Ant-Man, and he makes her the Wasp suit. And him presenting that to her, it's like, okay, now we're good. Now everything's okay, and now we can move on from that story. Like she doesn't have to be mad at him about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
because
she
if
can
that
hit
carried
more-
over,
yeah.
it's like we got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
you-
understand.
You did that already, so I think
Now
that's
she turned
really
to the wasp
cool.
and fly into his ear and expand and make his head explode. Problem solved.
It's interesting because going into this, honestly, I had this opinion of like, it's good that they're going to get the Ant-Man into these other movies because I'm like, I don't know, like, are they even going to make another one of these? Like, could they make another one? And then when it ended, I was like, okay, yeah, like, I want to see a movie with the Wasp. I want to see a movie where, like, in the second one, he needs to figure out how to get big so that then he can also be Giant Man. Like,
Which they did. I mean, they did that.
Yeah, I mean,
he switches out the thing and then he grows back to normal size. And,
right, yeah. They allude to the fact that he can.
Right.
You
I
know.
love to
So in the
doesn't
next
tell
movie, he
Hank
fights
how he did
Godzilla.
it. I'm like, oh, he's not going to tell him so he doesn't obsess about getting his wife back.
Do you think that's why?
Yeah.
You think you think he remembers and not that and is lying?
Yeah. I think so. I was like watching his character, his little face and stuff. I think he remembers.
Interesting. I like that you said his little face because he's Ant-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they have Captain America shows up.
Yeah.
I love Chris Evans now. Like, I always liked him, but I love his Captain America.
Uh huh.
What did they do?
I'm gonna miss him when
What
he's
did the
gone.
Winter Soldier do? What did he do? They have his arm trapped in a vice.
Yeah, I know, but that was a little weird. Like
Yeah?
I like where they're going with it, but I was just.
They're setting up Civil War, I guess.
Yeah, it's really just to say like, hey, we caught him, and we need the Ant-Man to go in and fix his arm because we need him to help us.
Well, and that was all actually filmed for Civil War, apparently. And then
Oh.
they went through all the Civil War footage, and they were like, hey, can we put this clip at the end of Ant-Man?
Oh, so that scene is
That
going to
scene-
be in the movie.
Probably not now, but originally it
Oh,
was
okay.
going to be.
Well,
Does
or-
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like the
Is Ant-Man in
Yeah.
Civil War?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
everyone is in Civil War.
Everyone.
Like literally all of them, I think.
Even Ross. Thunderbolt Ross from
Oh,
Hulk.
that's
They're
right,
bringing him
yeah.
back, yeah.
That movie's gonna be awesome. How's that movie not gonna be 5 hours long?
Oh.
It should be. They should make that movie fun. I'd be fine with that.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
First 5-hour Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see Spider-Man.
It should
I
have-
cannot wait.
It should have an intermission.
That'll never happen. They'll just make it part 1 and part 2, which is when Infinity War is. It's a 5-hour movie.
Yeah.
They're splitting up.
Well, but Infinity War, I could see that being split into really being two movies. Like you could have one on Earth and one cosmic, or vice versa. Like I could see that actually being split well. But Civil War, like, just give me 5 hours. Give me an intermission where like you play 10 minutes of cartoons while I go to the bathroom. Like I'm down. I got time, man.
What's so cool is you think about that they plan these movies so far in advance, but they still have so much story to tell to get to Infinity War.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's only 4 years away.
Well, but honestly, like, I guess Guardians of the Galaxy will tie into it. But what other movies that they're making?
Captain Marvel will.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two, but Captain Marvel's going to be mostly like they got to set up that character.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as setting up Thanos, like the first Infinity War movie is going to have to be really explaining who that character is because most people don't know who he is. Like they haven't. He's some big blue guy, but they don't really understand any story there.
It's gonna be interesting. I want to see where they go after Civil War too, because to me it seems like Phase 2 should end at Civil War, not start at Phase 3.
Well,
Well, I'm wondering if Civil War is going to stretch all throughout Phase 3 then.
Oh, it might.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just kind of have that rift. Like what I always thought would be
That'd be
super
cool.
interesting is you have these two different teams of Avengers. You know what I mean? And then in Infinity War, you have to bring everybody back together, and that's kind of where everybody puts their differences aside.
And then you kill
because you
Cap.
have to fight Thanos. Like you can't have all your heroes being separate. Does that make sense?
I love that idea.
I think that's what they should do with it. Now, as to
So then
whether
in
they
this one,
will-
you just have him. He catches Winter Soldier. He fights Crossbones. There's this thing going on, so he argues with Tony Stark.
Yes.
He doesn't die. He just beats Crossbones.
Exactly.
And whatever the sort of plot of the movie is, but it sets up that division.
Yeah,
I
then you
like that a
bring them
lot.
all- because then you have 6 movies.
Well, but because you also a lot of the movies are set that they're doing after that, setting up for like Guardians of the Galaxy will have nothing to do with Civil War. Black Panther's going to have to set up Black Panther.
Right.
Captain America's got to set up Black Panther or Captain Marvel. I mean, same thing for Strange, Doctor Strange. So you could
filming that right now. I can't
yeah,
believe
like
that.
you could pay homage to Civil War, but it's not going to be overbearing. So
Right.
you could let that sit and spin
Right.
until the beginning of Infinity War, where like everything has really gone to shit, and all the villains, all the superheroes hate each other, and then they have to come together.
Then
they
them
have
shaking
to-
hands.
Yeah, they all have to come back together.
Because it starts with Tony with Cap getting shot in the head, and you're like, oh my gosh, like how do we come back from this? And then they all have to join together to fight Thanos.
I think that would be the best way to do it. I don't think you can kill Captain America in Civil War.
Kevin Feige, give us a call. We've got JJ Abrams' email address.
Yes, we sure do. So thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Andrew, what else do you like besides comic books?
That's all I like. I don't like anything else.
All right, I was going to give a chance to be really deep there, but
And
World
Pokemon
Peace.
Pokemon games.
Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Oh, and Legos. Have
Oh,
you
there you go.
seen the Lego Ant-Man set? It's probably
No.
the best Lego set ever.
Really?
Are the pieces smaller than normal?
Because they
you build big Lego bricks out of Legos.
What?
Yeah. And Ant-Man is, he's supposed to be miniature, so you build a big ant for him to ride on.
No
It's
shit.
the best set ever.
I'm going to Toys R Us after we leave.
Best set.
Oh my goodness, that sounds cool. Oh.
And you build giant screws
to
launch.
No way.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the
I
best
just
thing.
assumed that it was going to be because for the not I want to say aircraft carrier. The Marvel
The Helicarrier?
The Helicarrier. For the Helicarrier, they actually invented minifigs. So that thing could be to scale. They have little minifigs that the base of the figure is the size of one notch, and then it's just like a little. It looks like a tiny Oscar, and some of them are painted to look like Iron Man and stuff like that. So I thought you were going to say like, oh no, you just get you get a regular size minifig and then one of those for Ant-Man so that he can shrink.
You build it in scale with him.
Oh my goodness,
And it's
that's
only
so cool.
It's like $25 too. It's the best.
That's so neat.
Andrew, thanks for coming on the show after 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if we do it again.
We'll see. We'll see. Make sure you see Andrew at Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. If you get a hold slot, 20% off all your stuff in the hold slot, and their back issues are half off, and he'll also help you find comics. And he's a really nice guy. So make sure you say hi to him.
Yeah.
Next week we see Pixels.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andrew. Bye.
Bye.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find him on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.